Alright everybody, hopefully you guys are all here. Sorry for starting late again. I guess I was over ambitious with my starting times. But anyhow, this time I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently. I'm going to be walking across San Francisco. So I'm not walking into the BART station. I'm going to be walking over to, well, basically past the BART station, all the way downtown. So it should be interesting, and we should see some neighborhoods that I've never been to along the way. So I'm walking from right here, which is Glen Park, all the way. I'm gonna be going down and then over basically down Mission Street on my way downtown. Hopefully you guys are here. I don't see anybody inside the chat, but maybe it just needs to refresh. Sometimes happens in bulk. But according to my stats, I'm streaming right now. So let me know. Drop a comment when you're when I'm actually streaming. Meanwhile, I'll flip over the camera once I get across the street, which I'm coming up to right now. Hold on. Right, so there's a lot of people who are coming home from work right now. Julietta, what's going on? All right, so let me show you guys where I'm at right now. This is basically my neighborhood right over here, Glen Park, and yeah, you can see a little slice of the city right here, actually, down the street. But let's see. Hold on one second. Hi, can I get a flashlight too? So it's not up to me. So it was Kathy who donated the money to. At first she said she wanted to get some. Oh no, the lens is dirty. Hold on one second. Whoops. All right. So Kathy was the one who gave the money, and it was originally for giving care packages to the homeless, and I sort of said, you know, this is something I thought about, is just giving. Oh, what's up, Gerardo? What's up, Blank Knight? Yeah, I said, well, instead of care packages, which give them stuff that they already kind of have, how about, you know, these things? Because I already had done some research, you know, these combination flashlight and whistles, and she said, okay. So I don't feel like I can give them out, you know, to anybody other than the homeless, because that's what she donated them for, you know. So I was thinking about what to do. I think, I mean, you know, last time I tried to go inside the BART station and it cut off when I was in there. Looks nice in San Fran. Yeah, well, I guess that's thanks to daylight savings time, right? The sun's still out, and it's actually pretty temperate. Hold on, there's a garbage truck here. Yeah, man, if I could figure out how to mount this thing onto my bike, it would have been pretty cool to show you guys how I get downtown on my bike, and that would have actually been much faster. But when I think of San Francisco, this is one of the sites that I think of, just, you know, rolling hills covered with buildings, you know, just cramped buildings all squat together. Let's see, finally a nice clear day. Yep. So it's not raining in my face like last time, and Yeah, there's not a single cloud in the sky, so it doesn't look like it's gonna happen later on either. Hi Lee, it's great to see you back. It's great to see you back. I haven't seen you in a while. CC Wong? I don't know how I'd pronounce that. Yeah, buddy, and hopefully we'll find some interesting stuff. You never know what's gonna happen when you're going around San Francisco. How's Carlos doing? He's still eating like a maniac. So last stream, I bought him a whole bunch of beef stew ingredients, and then today he made the beef stew, and he said it's only going to last him until tomorrow, when really it should last a normal person like a week. You know, maybe at least 4 days, but yeah. So who knows? It's gonna be crazy if he does end up. Yeah, he did make the beef stew. But it's gonna be crazy if he does. Nice. If he does end up gaining weight, you know, because I just can't picture him. I can't picture him gaining weight. Like his whole life, he's been trying to gain weight. It's never been possible. But you know, I'm sure eating excessive amounts is not good for you, even if you don't gain weight. But I don't know. Xbox One or PC? Come on, PC. Yeah, I'm all about PC. Although the PS4, the PS5 actually, they're starting to talk about now. Hello Lee, I only recently watched your old channel update video. Your story is incredibly sad, but beautiful and inspiring. I truly admire you now, and now appreciate your channel content even more. You know what? I wish I'm actually in the process of updating my Patreon page because I want to make a documentary, not just on my life, or even on Carlos's life, which is what it's kind of focusing on right now, but just sort of the foster care system, what happens to kids before they enter the system, you know, what leads them to enter the system, and what life is like in the system, and what happens to kids when they leave the system. But if I am able to get enough followers on Patreon, I'll be able to make that. I've already bought a bunch of equipment at an incredible expense, you know, thousands of dollars of equipment, but I still need to buy more, you know, to be able to do 3-point lighting for an interview. You know, I don't have a light kit, but I do have like a 4K mirrorless camera. I have hold on one second, you know, lenses, sound, audio recorder, professional microphones, you know, that kind of stuff. Just every time I ever had any money, I always kind of socked it away. I bought that equipment preparing to make this, but yeah, I want to do it sooner rather than later. I'll be looking into your Patreon for sure. The documentary needs to happen. Thank you. So it's not just going to be, at least I hope it's not just going to be Carlos and I in the documentary. I want to interview other foster children and hear their stories as well. And when I went to City College, I actually had I was in a program called the Guardian Scholars Program for former foster youth. And so I'd connect back up with them, talk to them about how they interact with foster youth. There's a lot of, I don't know where I'm going right now, that's why I'm kind of distracted, but there's a lot of people I'd like to talk to really get into the nitty gritty. Do you know Omitted Baton 638? No, I don't. Hold on, let me show you where I'm at. So I was going down Bosworth, so I went under this overpass, and that's up Bosworth, and this is down Lyle Street, and I don't know which way to go. So I'm going to bring up Google Maps. Hold on one second. Hopefully the stream doesn't get cut off while I do so. It says to go Arlington Street. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to go up Bosworth. Oh no, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. All right, let me go back up then. All right. Hopefully the stream didn't get interrupted as I did that. How's it going, Lee? No Carlos tonight? Yeah, you know, I had Carlos a lot in these previous streams, and I kind of felt like he was getting a little too samey, a little too stale. So I wanted to mix it up, you know. And also, you know, when I'm with Carlos, I can't really, you know, it's nice to be able to have someone to talk to face to face. I guess I'm just gonna keep wandering. I don't know how I'm gonna get across here easily. Maybe I'll go down Lyle Street and go back up. Yeah, when I'm there with him, it's just basically me and him. And I mean, he was getting a little bit of fatigue also, doing the stream with me the whole time. So, since there's no easy way, hopefully this is not my demise. Okay, here we go. But also, I'm not able to interact with you guys as much because I'm busy talking to him, you know. And I'm also not able to talk to people out on the street as much because I'm sort of feeling sympathetic for those next to me when I'm talking to somebody. So, you know, I like to hand things out to people out on the streets, you know, not simply just to give them something, but because I want to be able to start a conversation with them, you know. That's my main goal. I mean, I'd also like to give them something useful, but I'm not going to be able to give them anything that's really going to change their life. But, you know, by being able to talk to them, I could learn more about them, kind of let the audience learn more about them, and yeah, kind of humanize the homeless or the mentally ill who are out here on the street. And you see Carlos is there. I guess I don't know where it would be, but yeah, Carlos is watching. I'm gonna be multitasking tonight, so you're gonna be my audio while I work, which means I probably won't be saying much tonight. All right, no problemo. Interaction is key. Yeah, I think so as well. Gerardo, I know who you are. Okay. So, how's everything going as far as the Twitch and YouTube interaction? Hold on. Okay. I'm just going down Bosworth. I don't know if I'm going the right way. Meanwhile, while I check, let me know if everybody's getting the comments of the other. Oh, okay. So I could just go down Bosworth and then I could hit Mission. So, no problem. So, this is not a walk that I've ever made before. YouTube needs live Skype things so we can see each other's faces. I know that Twitch is doing something. Of course, it's only for the big streamers, where there's you can stream together as a squad, and people can view multiple streams, flip between them, which would be cool. Oh no, that's not needed, Carlos. I guess you guys are talking to each other. Okay, all right, good. So over on YouTube, you guys are seeing the comments from Twitch being sent back. And I have this application that's kind of been kind of funky. So it actually reminds me the last time I made a major walk like this. I lived over at over down on 3rd Street, which is over in the Bayview, which is kind of a dangerous neighborhood. And well, kind of. I mean, it's really dangerous. Somebody went missing right at the bus stop that I used to take all the time. But anyhow, I used to live over at well, actually, so when I first moved there, when I first lived over on 3rd Street, I had to I was moving from basically by Dolores Park, and I had a futon, and I just had a little dolly for this huge queen-size futon, and I basically carried it on my back across the city. Everyone thought I was crazy, and I was going through some crazy locations too with that thing. But in the Richmond, I don't know, is this the Richmond? This is on Bosworth, basically at Mission. Let me show you guys. I don't think so. So this is, that's Mission Street right there, and I was gonna say that's the 14, but it says out of service. Don't know. So I think I'm gonna turn right. Oh, this is the Richmond? Okay. That's the 49 right there. All right. Let's go down this way. Yep. Yeah, you're right in Central Mission. Okay, I grew up in SF and was given tons of freedom, and thus I know the city very well. Hi Mark, Mike, sorry, Mike R. So there may not be, it may be a while before I see anybody over here to talk to. Nope, you were in the Mission, not the Richmond. That's what I thought. Would this still be considered outer Mission? I mean, because this is not exactly, if you look around, this is not exactly what I picture as being the Mission, you know? It's very, I don't know what's going on over here. Just building a shed. Wow, look at that giant crane. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see that. That thing's huge. Yeah, outer Mission. Okay, was watching some of your old posting on YouTube from way back and the Muni fight. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I originally, I mean, originally what I wanted to do was just show people what it's like here in San Francisco and the crazy stuff you see out on the streets. Hi, Kat. So that's what I originally wanted to do without putting my own narrative in there. But every time I upload a video now that's not a live stream, I get flagged. I get flagged by YouTube. You know, so I can't really put up those kinds of videos anymore. But oh well. So right now I'm over an overpass right here. And then over on the other side is just some more houses. You can't really see too well. I wonder what they're building there with that giant crane though. Where am I walking tonight? So I'm basically heading from here down to downtown, basically. So I think I'm going to be heading through some, you know, some more industrial areas. Oh wow! Something.
Some parts needed for my retro video game repairs ended up being cheaper than expected.
Oh, I couldn't.
So please take this and use it as you wish.
I only heard the last part. The please take this and use it as you wish, just because it's so windy. see if I can try to find it. If you would like to check out, man, I can't see that. And there's another comment that's not showing up either. If you'd like to check out Take Hill, Rocky Mountain, or any really obscure and amazing parts of SF, there will be a 360-degree view from atop a hill. Let me know there's a swing on Vernal Mountain. I'm trying right now to see. Can you tell Carlos my real name is Catherine? Okay. Hard to hear. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me get someplace where it's not so sunny. Man, I'm sorry I missed the what was said in the super chat. Hold on. So basically, I'm basically exposed here. That's why over in the city there's lots of wind tunnels, but once I get past this building, things should be better. I bet you this plot of land is probably for sale as well. But then again, I don't know. Having a billboard right there, maybe not. Sometimes you'll see just empty plots of land like that, you know, that you would just think aren't going to be anything, but they're selling for like $750,000 for a little bit of grass. That's okay, it's not important, just wanted to donate. Well, thank you. No, Carlos? Yeah, Carlos isn't going to be here tonight. Then again, I am walking down the Mission. I am walking down Mission Street, so it wouldn't be hard for him to join me. Lee, how far along is Christina? How many months? So she's six months pregnant, I think. You know, 6 or 7. So yeah, once the baby's born, I'm probably gonna have to take some time off. But the good news is I still have, you know, I have a lot of content, a lot of, you know, who knows how many hours of content, you know, 100+ hours of live stream to make highlights from while I'm at home taking care of the baby, or, you know, just spending time with the family. Is she ever in your webcast? I want her to be, but she doesn't want to be. But who knows? Maybe I can convince her. Is Christina your wife? Yes. So I don't know. I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun to have little videos with her because I don't know. She makes me laugh. Yeah, it's probably going to be a while walking down here. Congrats. Well, thank you. Oh, and Kat, I know you wanted to talk to me like privately. If you want to, you can go to my About page here on YouTube, and there's an email link. You can always send an email to me there if you want to tell me something privately, and anybody else also. But I don't know. Opening up a Facebook is a little bit of a commitment, especially when I'm not really interested in Facebook. So anyhow, it's funny, I'm just walking through here, recognizing bike paths I used to take. You know, I used to go up here. Wonder what that is being built there. Let's see, Frank Residences. Oh, assisted living. Okay. Yeah, I used to work in an assisted living center. You know, I used to be a caregiver. But yeah, that stuff's pretty scary to me, you know. Nobody ever thinks about what's going to happen to them as they grow older, you know. They think they're going to be young and able-bodied forever. But unless you die early, you're going to have people take care of you. And if you never had a family, or you treated your family poorly, the best thing that can happen to you is you go into some place like that place, where they basically take all your money. Either that, or you go into some public dottage, you know, or some public place, and you're treated much worse. Or who knows? Maybe you're not treated as poorly, but certainly you wouldn't have the same resources given to you. But it's kind of maddening, especially working as a caregiver, just seeing how they nickel and dime these people, you know, take their entire life savings at the end of their life, you know, sort of just bleed them dry, you know, and they're getting it from every direction. And you know, as you get older, your faculties start to go, your judgment starts to go. So you start thinking maybe it's a good idea to buy into one of these old folks' homes, you know, to basically pay the price of a condo for a room at this place, and then start paying excessive amounts of rent to live there. Meanwhile, they're charging you like $30 for some diapers, you know, and yeah, everything you do, you try to call your executor, and it's like $100 a minute, you know, and maybe he's being a little bit, he's kind of embellishing the amount of attention he's giving you and charging you for that time. Anyhow, let me see. Let's see, Richmond District. Okay. Now I see the street names. Was never there. Okay. As a nurse, it is so frustrating. It's expensive to get old. Yeah, I mean, it's depressing to think that the end of your life is going to be in a place like that. That's part of the reason why, you know, I mean, obviously you don't want to have a family just for your own sake, you know, but it's important to have people who care about you and that you take care of. So then when you need taken care of, there'll be someone there for you. Did the beef stew get made? Yes. So Carlos made the beef stew, and yeah, apparently he's eating like crazy. He made the beef stew in the morning, and I called him around the afternoon, and he was knocked out. So I don't know. I was thinking about what was said before by Blank about people about like switching over to food, you know. Hopefully that doesn't, it's not what's happening to Carlos, where he's just, you know, yeah, got his new addiction, which is food. But who knows? Okay, Mission Terrace. So anyhow, I'm right here. This is really kind of what I consider to be more of the mission rather than where we were at before. You see a little bit of stores around here. I don't know what this is. But anyhow, so like I said, it's going to be a little while before I find people that I can talk to and hand out those hold on. It's going to be a while before I find people that I can hand out those solutions to. But I'm walking pretty fast. I'm not sure if it's apparent on the live stream, but that's why I gotta stop and get some air every once in a while, because I'm just trying to hurry up to get to the good part. I'm so amazed that you reach out to help your friend Carlos get detoxed. What a huge thing you did for him. Yeah, you know, it really was amazing that he was that happened, you know. Of course, now I just gotta rely on him to do the rest of the work necessary, which kind of hasn't happened yet. But you know, he needs to go get. He needs to you gotta take all the right steps to make sure that he doesn't slip back down there, because it's an easy thing to do, you know. And now he seems pretty happy. Yeah, but you know, that's because there's a major change. But eventually, you're gonna slip back into how you were before. So that's why he's got to make the changes now while he's motivated, because eventually I think it's gonna slip back. He's just gonna be living his life, and, you know, slip back to his old habits. I mean, he's also got other people in his life that he needs to weed out, you know. But hopefully all goes well. I never want to do that again. I already had thought that he was gonna kill himself due to his addiction, you know. So right now I'm at Mission in Ocean, if you guys are wondering where I'm at. But yeah, I thought, like, you know, I had tried for a long time to try to get him sober, but he refused. He refused to accept that he had an addiction. You know, he just thought he had a problem with moderation. You know, he, yeah. No matter what I told him, I kept telling him that he's got an addiction, and he always had the same pattern, which is smoking weed, smoking more weed, smoking excessive amounts of weed, switching to alcohol, starting with a little bit, then more and more, and then finding himself waking up in the hospital with puncture marks in his chest because they had to restart his heart, or who knows, you know. So let's see, it gets easier, have 5 years sober. Yeah. Yeah, I really hope that it's not, because, yeah, before, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, he has briefly been sober before, but it's only because it's been kind of forced upon him. This would be the first time. This would be the first time that it happened, you know, while he still had the ability to go out there. My brother was also drinking Listerine. That's no good. You don't want to be drinking denatured alcohol, you know. The interesting thing about the alcohol that's used in products, like they add that stuff, the mentholatum and other stuff. They add that in there just so people won't drink it, you know, because drinking alcohol is taxed, whereas the alcohol that you use in certain products isn't. So they put stuff like mentholatum or other ingredients in there just to make you sick when you drink it. And actually, when I was over inside the group home, in one of the group homes, I think it was Star House. It's a group home over in San Jose. There was somebody who worked there whose mother was an alcoholic, and she ended up dying because she drank perfume, and it killed her. So. Yeah, but that's no good. I don't know. I know you maybe you don't want to go, I don't know how much you want to talk about your brother, but I really hope that he wants to be clean, you know? We're rooting for you, oh, I guess Carlos is on chatting on stream. But I really hope that your brother wants to be clean, you know? Because you can't really force somebody who doesn't want to be clean, you know? I mean, you can force them by taking away their freedom, but they're just going to go out there and drink again if that's what they want to do. It's not like you can't stop them, you know, unless you take them to some religious community or something. Oh, I'm okay talking about it. Okay, so yeah, because you said that he had told you that he was that if he was let out, that he was going to go drinking again, which is concerning, you know. I mean, Carlos was drinking because he was afraid of the withdrawal. He was telling me he didn't want to drink. I mean, he was having panic attacks just thinking about the withdrawal. He thought that that the panic attacks were the withdrawal, you know? Wasn't until the doctor told him and actually medicated him for the panic attack that he realized that it wasn't actually the withdrawal he was experiencing. It's just the intense fear of eventually having withdrawal. So, yeah. Yeah, buddy. So, right now, we're actually outside of a funeral home. There's a florist. Oh, actually, maybe former florist. Doesn't look like there's anything going on there. Right here is a funeral home, and I think there's a Safeway over next to it. Valente Martini Funeral something or other. Funeral directors. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how much everything changes, but this part of the mission hasn't really changed. You know, I was just thinking about when I was here like 15 years ago, and it's basically the same. Yeah, and also congratulations from me also to you, Carl. Have you ever been to Skid Row? I haven't spent much time over in LA. Signal's dropping out. Okay, I came back. Yeah, but the times that I've been there have been just to work at Comic-Con, so I haven't spent a lot of time over there. You know, I was basically working the entire time I was there and not really sleeping, you know. Actually, you know what? Comic-Con San Diego. So I was working, well, the last time I was there, I was working WonderCon, which used to be here in San Francisco. But yeah, it was over in Anaheim last time I was there. Oh, I don't know what's going on over here. He's got out of his car right there. Oh, I don't know what was going on. The guy got out of his car and wanted to go talk to the car behind him, and the guy was honking at him. Car E, Lee, not Carl. Oh, okay. I can't really see, you know, because it's bright outside. All right, I won't do that again. At least this stream. LA has a rat problem downtown around Broadway and 7th Street. 10 cities all over, needles. Yeah. You know, I don't know. It's a problem that's growing. There's a lot of people who are addicted to opiates, you know? And so far the solution to the problem doesn't seem to be much of a solution either. You know, I was looking at some resources to be able to give out to people out on the streets who are suffering with addiction. And seems like the current thing to do for people who are addicted to opiates is to prescribe opiates to them, which doesn't sound very good, you know. So just have them forever on methadone or Suboxone, you know. Or there was some other thing that starts with a V. But yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who start their opiate addiction also because of painkillers. I don't know how you walk and read comments. Talented. Well, yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a struggle. I mean, it's not like I have all my breath with me. So sometimes I may be distracted But yeah, that's because I'm on the move. Sounds illogical. Yeah, so basically, it's these effing pharmaceutical companies. They, I mean, this whole, I don't know. I was reading about palliative care and just the whole genesis of it. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there who are just perpetually on opiates to deal with phantom pains, which are sort of because they've been on opiates. You know, they feel like they have perpetual back pain or something else because every time the medicine wears off, they're feeling pain. And the injury could be long gone, and they're still taking painkillers for it, gaining, what do you call it? Damn it. See, this is what happens when you walk and talk. Not immunity, but you know what I'm saying. The medication is losing its effectiveness, and so they're taking more and more. Yeah, they're basically addicted to opiates. You know, I still do listen to the old love lines all the time. And Dr. Drew said that there's no difference between heroin addiction and opiate addiction. You know, it's just a different method of delivery. Tolerance, that's right. Yeah, I mean, there's people who get addicted that way, but you know, people who are addicted to heroin, which is a form of opium, to put them to treat it like it's some sort of chronic illness, where they're going to have to take the methadone, which is actually harder to get off of than heroin, or Suboxone, and just basically have them on that for the rest of their life is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And you're putting them on something, heroin. I mean, originally was also a replacement for another pain medication that was supposed to be less addictive, but was 10 times more addictive. But you're taking them from something where they have an addiction that has a withdrawal of less than a week, and putting them onto something that has a withdrawal of over a month, you know? Yeah, okay, there you go. Well, they both said tolerance. So here's I used to live over in this neighborhood. Oh, there's a bird. Wait, hold on, there was a crow or a raven right behind me. Hold on. It literally just landed right there. Wow, that's a raven. Oh, it flew away. I wanted to show you how big he was. Anyhow, yeah, I used to go to this place all the time. And they got, you know, right there at the front, they roast this delicious organic chicken that they make their burritos from. It was delicious. But anyhow, I don't want to bother people in here. But yeah, look. That's the kind of chicken they also put in the burritos. Yeah, well, hold on. Be nice to it. They remember they remember mean people. Well, actually, they also, you know, I actually learned a little bit about ravens. They can recognize faces. And what's interesting is that they communicate with each other, and so across generations, you know, so if you do something messed up to a juvenile raven, then later on it has children, its children will recognize you. There's been experiments where they've done stuff, you know, wearing specific masks or having specific people do things the ravens didn't like, and the offspring recognized them and were swooping on them. But yeah, ravens are really interesting. They're one of the most intelligent life forms out there. I see what you mean, Lee. But the problem with opiates is that they can permanently change your brain and the cravings never stop. Methadone blocks the cravings. Methadone doesn't block. I mean, if it blocks the cravings, you should be able to get off methadone. you know? They're just putting you on a different, it's methadone isn't blocking your cravings, it's satisfying your craving. You know, you're put on, you know, a dose of opiates to where you can still be functional and not be suffering the cravings. They are really a lifesaver for addicts who absolutely can't stay off opiates without lots of misery. Well, once you make the switch over to that, it's harder to get off of methadone than it is to get off heroin. So the withdrawal period for heroin, like I said, I've heard is somewhere between 2 to 5 days, whereas it could take up to 6 months to get off of methadone. But this is not something that's my own unique belief, you know. This is what I've heard listening to doctors. But personally, it really feels like people with addiction problems are really being taken advantage of in this situation and led to believe that they need to be medicated for the rest of their lives. Hey Lee, just tuned in. What's up, Freddie? So I haven't actually met or talked with anyone yet, just because I'm walking through sort of a no man's zone. It's just the outer mission where there's not a lot of stuff going on. At some point I should turn off of mission, but it's been a while since I looked at Google Maps. I figure I'll just walk down here until I find some place that looks suitable. How long does withdrawal take to get off opiates? Depends. You know, heroin, like I said, I've heard somewhere between 2 to 5 days, and methadone somewhere from 1 to 6 months. Nice day in SF today. It sure is. No rain or anything. It's the Uni 14X. I could get on there to hurry up it, but I don't know. I'm afraid if I get into some place like that, I may be pressured to put my camera away. So it was nice when I had Carlos, because then I had someone else that I'm there with. I'm less likely to, you know, get in trouble for having my camera out. But there is always when we're in the mission, which was no bueno. I'm thinking about on Friday, let's see, who said hi Lee twice? Brenda Barnes, hi. Let's see, hi, I'm pretty sure you're going to Daly City right now, not downtown. I'm pretty sure you're right. Oh no. Well, maybe I will take the 14 the other way then. Yeah, I saw, as soon as you mentioned that, I realized like it did say Daly City on that 14X. So what I'll do is cross the street and wait for the 14 going the other way, and I'll go incognito mode. That means I'm going to be taking off my taking off the gimbal, and hold on, let me cross the street. I'm going to be taking off the gimbal, and I'm going to be acting as if I'm not live streaming. So it should be pretty fast, hopefully, whenever it comes. Oops. Yeah, I've been walking quite a ways too, going up towards Daly City. Yeah, it does make sense too. I was walking uphill the whole way. How long does one stay on Librium to prevent withdrawals? But I wonder okay, so Carlos was on Librium just because Librium. Hold on, this thing isn't. Okay, Carlos he was only on it for 5 days, and it was to tackle the withdrawal. Apparently, it completely, or nearly completely, took care of his cravings for alcohol too. But you know, that's a benzodiazepine. You know, that Librium itself is dangerous. You know, or Valium, or you know, any of the other things that you could take to take care of the. Oh, there's a 14. So hold on, I'll continue this conversation in a moment. But he was only on it for 5 days, so hold on. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off for just a moment, but it will still be, you'll still be able to see stuff. So, you know, he had an alcohol withdrawal, so he was put on Librium, which is a benzodiazepine, and he was on there for 5 days. So they give him heavy doses at first and then taper him off over those 5 days. Yeah, benzos probably are more dangerous than alcohol. You know, you could die from that, and it's not like they could give you a benzo to take you off of your benzo addiction. So that's one of the reasons why I was the one who was in charge of the pills. The problem was Carlos really liked it. You know, he wanted me to keep it, so it made me feel glad that I was the one in charge of it, you know. So, yeah, like I said, don't experiment with that. It's a bad problem. Hold on, let me show you guys. So I'm just here on the mission. This is the bus over here. Oops. Hold on. What's a benzo? That's a benzodiazepine. It's another type of painkiller. They're very addictive and very dangerous. It's one of the few addictions outside of alcohol that can kill you. So like the signals kind of fail again. So I'm gonna wait for the signal to get better. Let me just show you guys what I'm looking at. So we're basically going back where I walked from. Hold on, I don't know if I beat. Oops. So, and if you don't pay that, they can take that straight out of your bank account, and they would charge you another $250 on top for having somebody else access your account. So yeah, we're basically seeing a zip by where I already walked through. Losing connection, might want to restart the stream. It's just the area that I'm going through. I don't like, Librium didn't feel all that good, but it did stop the withdrawal symptoms. Yeah, well, you want me to keep it for you. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why they had you take Librium instead of Valium. But Valium was also an option. The stream back. Yeah, so if I stopped and started a new stream, it'd be another video. If I were to kind of stay in there, it'll still stay in one video, and they'll just cut out little chunks. I had Demerol once in the ER. Oh, you know what's crazy? So they gave Carlos Ativan to take care of his panic attacks while he was over there. They gave him 1 milligram of Ativan, and it was just shocking. It like hit him, you know. He's like, "Whoa, am I on drugs?" Because he had an IV. He had like liter of saline put in his body, and they put it into the drip. What's crazy is like it really like there's the doctor was telling me like, oh yeah, the Ativan is not going to affect him like it would affect you or I. You know, he could have much higher doses than you can. They give him one milligram. When I was a kid, I was in an institution. They gave me 4 milligrams of that stuff, and I was just staring off at a wall. I was in restraints actually. I was staring off at a wall, and it was just kind of swirling around. You know, it was kind of stucco patterned, and oh no, I can't even. The signal cut out and came back. But basically, when I was on that 4 milligrams of Ativan, like the stucco pattern on the wall turned into like a globe. I saw like people walking across the globe, like pushing wheelbarrows, and it was like looking at a little city on a little paper globe on the wall. So let me show you guys what's outside the window. You were in restraints? Why? Well, you know what? I'll tell you guys all about it when I get out. Like I said, I've had a lot of things happen to me in my life. A lot of things. So even though I've told you a bunch of crazy stuff, I've barely scratched the surface on some of the stuff that I've gone through in my life. But yeah, now is not the place because it's a little too crowded. I don't feel comfortable saying it right now. I'm gonna need to get some water after I get out of here. So I still think that we're basically where I walked past before. There's a lot of laundromats over here in the Mission. And the outer Mission, I guess. Did they detox him at SF General? I bet that was an interesting experience. Well, SF General detox anyone who asks, homeless people, etc. So no, they did not. They did not detox him inside SF General. Lee is resilient. He needs to be a counselor. I applied for places, you know, group homes and shelters to be a counselor, and they didn't want me because I didn't have a BA in social work. So, you know, I just thought, I mean, you know, when I was in group homes, they had people there who volunteered. You know, people who were there non-professionally. They had other people there who definitely did not seem to have any kind of you know, I mean, I had somebody working at one of the group homes who was 19, so there's no way she could have had a degree. I don't know. It's something I was interested in, though. Anyhow, so he wasn't detoxed at SF General. He actually went to St. Francis, I think. So he was. we ended up spending the entire night in the hospital. You know, the emergency room's not really the place to go. There was homeless people who were basically sleeping there. You know, there's people just like crying and just in agony in a wheelchair for like 6 hours. 6 hours just, you know, like just crying and groaning and screaming and telling the people behind the counter to take her to another emergency room where she could be treated. Kids were throwing up, but people were leaving without seeing the doctor just because it was taking so long. It was pretty ridiculous. So anyhow, I took Carlos there because he had a wound that had been bleeding for 3 days. They actually weren't so concerned with the wound. They were mainly seeing him because of his alcoholism. So they would have sent him over to basically what would essentially be a homeless shelter where he could get sober at. But because I was there with them, you know, and I was telling them that I was his foster brother, they kind of put the responsibility for him on me and gave me the prescription to give him, you know, the doctor actually wanted me to take him into my house, but I just don't have space. So we figured he'd stay at his place, and I would. I was supposed to be there just monitoring him, giving him the pills every few hours, but I was just giving him his daily dose in the morning for him to take. So even if he messed up, he'd only mess up with a few pills. I won't forget to tell you guys while I was in the restraints. Yeah, it probably won't be the same if somebody else just goes over there. You know, because they don't want to just be giving you more pills and throwing you back out on the street. You know, they don't want you to overdose on this stuff or take it and then drink alcohol and kill yourself, you know. She was very, very explicit telling us that it would be a bad thing if Carlos were to drink while he was on this stuff. That's why she wanted him to be monitored, you know. And I think rightfully so, you know, because when he was on that Librium, he wasn't thinking straight. He actually threw away his first daily dose of that stuff. And hold on, I think this would be a good time to plug in. Just to I didn't even bring the right plug. But yeah, he, you know, he. there was one instance where I gave him his pills for the following day, after he already took his full day of pills, and then he took one that night, thinking that I told him to take it at night. So yeah, even if you have the best of intentions, you can easily mess up on that stuff. So if you know somebody who has addiction and you want to help them with their addiction, you can take them over to the emergency room, and as long as you're there and you tell the doctor that you can commit to monitoring them and being in charge of the medication, you could definitely get somebody off, you know, as long as they want to, you know. So I don't know, do you guys want to see what's out the window? To me, it's not really interesting just being a San Franciscan, or maybe for you guys it is. I know not all of you are in the city. So look, this is that bridge I think that I walked over earlier. Maybe not. I can't tell from here. So we're in the Excelsior now, aka the Outer Mission, basically. Yeah, that's the bridge that I walked over before. So you know, I was walking pretty damn fast. I mean, I've already been on this bus a little while, and we're basically halfway on the journey that I took up here.
Ferry.
Fortunately, yeah, it was the one that I passed. So fortunately, I was able to get on the bus upstream to where I could get on there without there being any problems with the camera. You know, I'm really gun shy after the close encounter. I've had 3 close encounters now. You know, being attacked while streaming, so that's why I'm a little overcautious now. You're close to University Mound, all right? So I don't like to sit over at the front. I would have been able to get a better view of what's out the window, but you know, that's reserved for people who are handicapped. John McLaren Park ahead. Oh man, John McLaren Park. I went over in there, and I saw a snake. I saw a snake on the ground. I was like, what the hell? I was like, did somebody just dump out their pet snake? And it was a cold day. I was like, oh, poor little snake. They must have died, you know? Must have died from the cold. I went and I was like touching it to see if it was alive. And it wasn't moving or anything. And I was just trying to see like how cold it was. I was there with a friend of mine, and he was freaked out. He was scared, but I was pretty sure it was dead. But yeah, it started flicking its tongue out, and I realized that I had been petting a wild snake out in the park. It was a pretty big snake too. So the bad news is, well, I don't know. McLaren Park is pretty cool, but it's not. I don't think it's someplace I could stream. I think the signal would cut out there. But yeah, it's one of my favorite parks. I like the little parks. I killed a stick with a snake once. Maybe the other way around.
Please hold on.
But yeah, I don't know. I like those sort of little pockets of nature that are inside the city. You know. Personally, I prefer. It might. Yeah, I prefer. I prefer a park like McLaren Park over something like Golden Gate Park, where it's all just built. You know, it's not natural. You know, you have bamboo groves and other stuff. You know, just big open grassy areas over at Golden Gate Park. At home. Okay, so I'm headed downtown. So I don't know what stop do you guys want me to get off at?
Please hold on.
You know, the heart of the mission. And I don't know what stop I should get off at. I figured I'd just take it as close to downtown as I could get to, but it's been a long time since I've been on the 14th. What about the big cross out at Mount Davidson? I've never been up there. We met outside the car the other day. Okay. So there's poor connection here. Go hiking? I don't know. I mean, that would be pretty crazy. You know, there is a pretty cool park that's actually a Glen Canyon Park where they have coyotes. That's a pretty cool little place. What's crazy is they got a preschool in there. They got a preschool in there where they have like a coyote warning outside of the preschool, and they let their little big-headed toddlers run around there, where they could get picked up by a coyote. You know, if the coyote grabs one of them, there's no way you're catching that thing.
30th Street.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to bring your kids over there. So where am I at? 30th Street. So if Carlos did want to join me, this is where he would join me. We are very, very, very close to Carlos's house. So who knows? This is actually, have you ever vacationed anywhere, Lee? So, boy, yeah, I sure have. Not as an adult, but you know, it's weird. You know, I've talked a few times about Jim, who's a foster parent of mine. You know, and like, what's going on there, buddy?
Can't already. I had to stop by and say hello. And Carlo. Stuffed.
Are you getting the belly?
I think I'm just stuffed right now. That's all.
So how much beef stew would you say that you've
had like half of the pot already, like half of it, but I'm pretty satisfied right now.
How many? Yeah.
It was half the pot. The pot is like 4 gallons.
Yeah.
And so I've had half of it already.
Wait, no. So the whole pot is
20 quarts.
20 quarts. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's 5. That's 5 gallons.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Audience,
Yeah. So that's 5 gallons of total capacity.
Yes.
So you had made 2.5 gallons of beef stew, not soup, people. Stew.
Yes, stew, pretty hearty. I had some of Lee's stew. I made it myself, followed the recipe. Wow. Love it. Yeah, on Julieta, you'd be proud. You're missing out.
What? Hermasa? How do you say it in Spanish?
Dia.
Dia?
Dia, Julieta.
Yeah.
Julieta.
Oh, she said, "Hey, Carlos." Yeah, look. How are you feeling? You look pretty tired.
I just had a nap after my first bowl of stew. I took a long nap. Then I had another one. Now I'm feeling like I need to take another nap.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna probably get off. Just checking in with you guys.
Oh, you don't want to join me on stream? You're free to join. Would you like to?
Do you want to get off in the mission, or where were you planning on getting off at?
Going downtown.
The usual, right?
Well, you know, I haven't been there for a while. Last time I was in the mission, and I feel like going back there. And this time, I really want to be able to talk and interact with people out on the street. You know, because I've been kind of spending a lot of time talking to you, going on your stuff, and I haven't been really talking to people out on the street as much. So,
No gimbal.
I put it in my bag. I could always take it out, or I could go incognito. So,
What did I miss out? Let me see. There was D Flores. I see you there.
D Flores.
D Flores.
Say orale.
Orale, D Flores. I know, right? Don't you want one of those whistle flashlight things?
Oh, that's right. She told me to give you one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look, guys, my keychain is bare. It needs more gadgets.
Well, let's see here.
All I have is 2 little members. Thanks. Thank you, Kathy. Thank
There you go.
I love it. Yes. Thank you so much. Oh, I would blow it right now, but everyone's gonna.
No.
Everyone's gonna.
You're gonna be pissed at you.
I have one.
Yeah. Carlos, are you working out? Abs and upper body?
I'm just doing a lot of physical labor, a lot of manual labor, a lot of work. So I'm doing a lot of exercise when it comes to movements of body movements.
Yeah.
All day. Earning money while I do it.
Yeah, Carlos is the kind of person who could just eat more and bulk up naturally. I think he's got a lot of natural hormones going through. I have no idea how to send you keychains. So basically, what happened was Kathy donated $50, and with that $50, I was able to buy 33 of these keychains. And yeah, I still have. So that I was down to 15. So
I'm gonna have to replace the chain. This chain is not looking too good. It's almost like it's being held together by paper clips, practically.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could. Well, I don't know. Maybe you could put it directly on that big loop.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to lose this. These guys are special.
Those are not the most robust keychains.
It's a least channel keychain. There's only a limited amount.
Yeah, so there was only 33. I didn't brand them or anything, but yeah.
24th Street.
I just wanted to be as cheap as possible to get as many as possible. So.
It's bigger than they thought.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So why don't you twist it, see if it works? Not my eyes.
It works.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I'm concerned that I might get twisted on its own and turn on its own.
And actually both sides twist, so you want to make sure that it's tight there too. Yep.
I had to make sure that I got the right bus. It was so hard to track you.
Yeah, I was thinking like, man, I'm going right by him.
I was actually gonna run into you on the street, and then I noticed, oh man, you're going the other way. No
How come
wonder.
you never said anything?
I couldn't tell because Mission all looks the same.
Yeah.
And then I really started to pay attention. Like, why is it taking him so long to?
Yeah, I was busting ass too. No, I was going fast. Go ahead and sit down, brother.
You almost made it to the top of the hill. He almost left the entire city. He was almost at Daly City.
Hey, Cat RN says you guys are so handsome.
Oh, really?
Whoa, Cat RN, what's up with you? Hey, hurry up and invite her over on your Facebook, Carlos.
I have.
Oh, you have?
But
Okay.
I'm not very active on Facebook.
She wants me to be on Facebook, but
the only reason I have Facebook is only so that people that want to find me can find me. But I don't really do much on there.
well, maybe Cat wants to find you.
Hold on.
I'm right here on the 14. Come and join us.
I don't think that she's she may not be local. Carlos, do you watch Familia Peluche? I love that show.
It sounds hilarious, but no, I have not heard about it. It sounds funny.
Oh, Carlo actually sent me some links. I haven't seen those because I don't speak Spanish, but he was showing me those shows that reminded me of what we used to watch over the group home. What was that one show? Oh, looks like you did work today, huh?
Yes.
Was that plaster on your knuckles or something?
This is paint. I was doing painting yesterday. But what's it called? Chespirito? There's Chespirito and there's a Chavo del Ocho, right?
What was that one show I was telling you that was so funny where these guys are adults and they're wearing wigs and pretending like they're kids going to school. I mean, I saw one episode, it was hilarious. This guy was like
adults going to school.
But like this guy was like dragging his pet lizard to school. I mean, it was like a dead lizard. He was just dragging it there. Yeah, it was just hilarious.
There's what is the girl called with the one with the missing tooth and the fake freckles?
Carlos
La
says
Chilindrina.
El Colorado.
La Chilindrina, yes, something like that. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Cat lives in Buffalo.
Yeah, is that New York?
Yeah, I believe so. So that's
right.
quite a distance.
That's right. She had mentioned that before, that she's 3 hours ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
It's nighttime over there now.
Yeah.
Is Kathy McLean with us?
I might have seen her earlier.
Should I?
Don't do it.
Should I?
No, you're gonna hurt your own ears too, and more importantly, my ears.
These people look like nice people. I don't want to do that.
No. How did you feel when Joseph was blowing the whistle, saying "Help me, I'm being raped"?
Last 2 days ago.
Yeah. Last street.
Well, you kind of scolded him.
Did I?
Yeah, you're like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah. I don't want to have false. I don't want to do the boy who whistled rape.
All of a sudden, everyone from the Castro comes swooping in. We heard you, brother.
Yeah. We're here. They assembled.
Assemble.
That background music is weird. Well, I had heard actually some Chinese opera earlier.
It's better than some of the other stuff that they play in here. You'll see boom boxes, loud.
Yeah. Classical music at Burger King, McDonald's, and now muting. Yeah, well, yeah. Literally, someone was listening to Chinese opera, so I don't know if that's the same thing. It doesn't sound like it now.
Interesting, yeah.
Oh, Kat RN. She was born in Sicily and came to New York as a child.
Sicily. So you speak Italian then?
Yeah, she came over as a bambini.
So is it Italian or is it Sicilian, or is that the same thing?
Oh, I think also Carlo is Sicilian. He's not actually.
Oh, Gambino.
Yeah. Carlo Gambino.
Yes.
Buonanotte.
Gambino rhymes with bambino.
Yeah.
Bambino.
Gli uomini. Oh wait. Gli uomini bevono dell'acqua.
Yeah. I suppose I was thinking maybe we can walk on this area, but we've already been here so many times.
Yeah.
We've seen all these murals already.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Yes, Sicilian. Okay.
What about south of Market?
Kat also speaks Italian and Sicilian.
Oh, okay, they're different. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, and apparently Carlo has family from Catania.
And where's Carlo from?
18th Street.
Well, he's Sicilian. He said he's got family. Well, he's talking. Okay, look, blank night. Born in England, went to California as a child. Yeah, so we got sort of an international audience. Well, yeah, all I speak is English and American.
It is a lovely time to be out here in the city. It's sunset. The weather's nice. This is the time to be out here.
Yeah.
It's not every day we get sunny, nice weather here in the city. It's a foggy, windy place. This place.
Swank Records speaks jive and Anglo-Saxon English. Well, it's the music you were talking about, I hear.
Yeah, it's always the back of the bus that feels like you're, in a holding cell at some prison or something.
So yeah, Kat. Well, I'm pretty sure he does speak Italian. So, wow, we got a few Sicilians.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, if you ever ever in any trouble, you need some muscle, maybe you could. Now there's a difference in Sicilian and Italian.
Is the kissing on both sides of the cheek still a thing, or is that just in the movies?
No, that's how they do it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the
It's
frosting
very
on the cake.
yeah.
16th Street.
It's a little scary.
It's always nice to be greeted by an Italian woman. Ah, yes. wait. Let me say goodbye too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not unusual.
My sister does that to her sons, and I'm not really sure if they appreciate it much.
Yeah.
It's a little forced.
Well, if I was 16, I would.
Crossing the line there, just a little bit of tongue, and then it's creepy.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's already got a girlfriend that he's kissing all day, that he's kissing his mom, you know what I mean?
Wow, look at that piece.
Big difference, Sicilian women are tougher. I thought Sicilian men were supposed to be tougher too.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, you guys don't play around,
No.
you ladies. Sicilian ladies.
You know, actually, I think that woman we saw over on the street, who was on meth, I think she was, the one who said that she was from LA, I think she was actually Italian. She had like an Italian accent.
You're right.
Yeah.
She had a bit of a street vibe, like she's in the streets.
Yeah, but I definitely think she was Italian.
Oh.
No, I was talking about, you know, the time we saw that guy who was drinking like vodka. He was chugging the vodka. The ambulance came. It was outside the orphan when we came back.
Oh, right.
That woman.
And
then
the tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was like dancing and singing.
Where did you want to like get off all the way at the Embarcadero, or did you want to still walk to the Embarcadero?
So anyhow, so that place is where kink.com is located, right?
That is kink.com.
Yeah, so it's
headquarters.
very, very strange pornography is filmed over at that place right there.
Dude, yeah, I was totally waiting for you on Mission Street. I was gonna just have you run into me, and you never did, and I had to go back inside.
Well, I actually kind of, hold on, let me clean the lens for when I come out.
I went back inside, got on my computer, and I realized, crap, you're walking away from them.
Oh yeah, man, see, if I knew I would have seen you, I would have had stuff to give you. I would have come bearing gifts.
I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what you were going to be planning. And then you said you're going to be heading through the mission. I thought, oh, well, I better be out there. I was almost going to wave the shirt like a flag. Like, yeah, go leave,
Yeah.
go.
Carlos, if you just won $8 million in the lottery, what would you do with it?
Oh, man, I always wonder about that, but I would probably keep it simple. I would probably just do something boring, you know, like buy a house where I can have animals and have some land.
Would you
nothing
would
all
you
that.
raise your own food?
Yeah, grow my own food, have my own animals, just kind of live off the grid a bit. Something
What,
like
what
that.
kind of would you raise? So what kind of animals would you raise?
Well, you know, poultry. Maybe you know, have the usual cows.
Cows. Wow,
You know,
that's quite an investment.
have milk, have eggs, have
South
meat.
Van Ness.
You know, some different kinds of poultry. Of course, having I don't know, sort of a self-sustaining kind of a life. I just don't trust today's food that we buy from the grocery store. It's all just untrustworthy.
So yeah, I don't know, a cow. That's quite an investment. Those cows are expensive, and they need a lot of land, and they really graze a lot.
Then you have the milk, you have the butter,
So what? Let's say you're milking cow.
you have cheese.
Your milking cow died. Would you eat it
I believe so, yeah.
if it died of natural causes, or would you slaughter it as it gets older?
I would have to learn more about how to do these things. Maybe it's not a good idea to eat something that died of natural causes. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure.
Kat RN says she only ate vegetables that her father grew in their garden.
Yes, it's much more rewarding, isn't it? And they're more flavorful.
Man, I grew my own cilantro. You wouldn't believe how strong it was. Like I put it inside soups, just like a little bit of cilantro, and it just completely overwhelmed the flavor.
When you eat something that you watch grow yourself, you watched it grow from a seed, you watched it sprout, you took care of it, and then you're eating it. You know, there's just something about that that's very rewarding.
So, but you wouldn't think about smaller animals. You know, I actually thought about this before, because you can grow like rabbits. You could get rabbit meat, and you would need a lot less resources to do so. It's much more efficient than cows.
The cow would be for milk, eggs, cheese.
Hold on.
You get a cow for eggs.
Milk? Did I say eggs?
Yeah, you said milk, eggs, cheese.
Oh, milk, butter. I meant butter. I meant to say butter.
Yeah, wow.
But, yeah, cheese, butter.
Well,
milk.
so, but what if you? Because I thought about that too. I thought like, well, maybe I'd get some rabbits, get some chickens are filthy animals though. You know, they just kind of crap indiscriminately.
Yeah, but if you do it properly, then that's just guano, that's just nutrients for your plants. You know, if you have a chicken coop, they go out and they pick at the grass. And, you know, it's all this circle of life that you get to have happening there, and it's all within your control. You get to play God.
Well, there's a lot of parasites also though that you have to worry about if you're raising animals.
Please hold on.
You know?
Gotta do it properly. Wouldn't want to do it in a city setting.
Well, actually, so there are people who, because rabbits need so little space, there's people who actually grow their own rabbits. I mean, you just need a little tiny bit of space. I saw somebody who had it just in his garage, but he was still able to park his car there.
I considered it. I considered doing that here in the city, in the deck of where I live, on the back patio.
Remember when we were over at the Civic Center market and they were selling live chickens?
Yes.
It was only $6 for a chicken. I was like, man, we could get a chicken.
We could have bought a chicken.
Yeah, we had our own place too.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. They were probably trying to rip us off. It probably seemed like a good idea, but then it would probably be like an old hen that's not laying anymore. You know, something that's kind of useless that they're selling.
You never know what kind of life it's been living. It's been crammed.
Well, it was crammed in that cage.
Yeah. In the back of a truck, just stuffed in there.
But I think it's kind of I don't think it's good for you psychologically though to be raising and nurturing something and then killing it.
I know what you mean.
I think I would be more comfortable hunting than I would be. You see, if I raise something, I would love it, and I can't. I think it's damaging to your psyche to be raising and loving something and then killing it.
Yeah, my uncle had what I thought was a pet bunny, but he thought of it as raising meat and food, and I would take care of this thing, I would pet it, and I'll never forget this thing. And then one day we both went out and he gave me a knife and he had me go ahead and murder this thing. And then later on at dinner, we had it for dinner in a soup, and I was trying to be a man about it and not complain, but it wasn't. It turned my stomach a bit to know that I was eating my bunny.
And he also raised chickens in the backyard too, right?
Yeah, he would get the birds that he would raise, whether it be pigeons or chickens, and he would just grab the head and just pull it right off with his bare hands.
Oh, I want to say also, by the way, hi to Miss Behaven.
Nice name.
Oh,
did you want to walk to Embarcadero, or did you want to actually get there?
since we're already on the bus, might as well just take it to the end. You know?
This is a pretty homeless area, south of Embarcadero.
Yeah. But so anyhow, they also want to know about your father, but you don't know much about him.
I wish I knew more. I wish I at least had a picture. That guy has always been a mystery to me. Oh God, very very frustrating to not have any information at all. No information about him. Yeah, I don't even know his name.
Yeah. And you've never seen a picture of him either, huh?
Don't know anything about the guy.
He was older than your mother, and your mother was pretty old when you were born, right?
Yeah, he would be pretty old if not dead by now.
Yeah. How? He was like 60 when you were born, or something like that.
I wish I could tell you anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anything. Yeah, for some reason my mom was totally secretive about that guy, and I've always that's another thing that's always frustrated me. Why she wouldn't tell me a single detail about him.
So they're also wondering about your siblings. Wow, so that's there's a lot there.
I basically don't have a family. I would say that the one sibling that I do have is probably the person that's hurt me the most. The few family members that I have left. So that's it in a nutshell.
Have you did you ever go to the Patreon that I made? Because it's got your video up there.
My video?
Yeah, the video I shot with you for the documentary.
We shot many. Was it?
The thing I had edited a while ago.
Oh, did they see it?
Well, I don't know. Unless they go to the Patreon, they're not going to see it because it's on.
Good work.
Yeah, it's not done yet. Oh, it says can't hear.
Oh, I was having that problem too. Yeah, it was mute when I was watching it at home.
Oh, am I on? I'm not on mute now though because I'm interacting. So I think when the signal drops, it mutes.
Yeah, it was doing that. It was doing that on the bus, right? On the street.
You see? There's no signal over there.
Is it those little lines?
It's the little Wi-Fi looking thing. So now it's good. Now they can hear us. So anyhow, let's see. So Kat says that she'll be your new soul sister.
Kat, you're out there. I think about you, and the comments that you sent to me, they really do stay with me. I put a lot on Lee's plate. I put a lot on his shoulders. But yeah, your comments and the comments of everybody else have stuck with me and have helped me, and so I do appreciate everything you said.
And then Nolan says, "Hey Lee and Carlos, I've been watching your videos for about a month now. I'm really happy I could finally watch it live."
Right on.
Yeah.
Yes, it's much more exciting this way.
Yeah. I didn't hear what you said. You have a brother from another uterus, says Swink.
Aren't we all family? Aren't we all just like from the same tree?
So
Not even on top.
anyhow, yeah, how much further do you think? So we're at 6th Street right now.
We're almost at the Salesforce Tower, but when it gets to this point, it stops at every single block.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it gets a little slower over here.
Should we take it to the end or should we get off?
Yeah, let's get off. This is the middle of the chaos. Might as well walk there.
So I guess since you're here, should I take out the gimbal or should I keep it handheld?
Oh, gimbal.
You think? Okay. All right, let me set that up while I speak. Can you hold this? Whoops.
We've hit 5th and Mission now. So if anyone's familiar with 5th and Mission, you know that there's never a dull moment. There's always something going on around here. Gotta stay on your toes, as they say. There's the gimbal. Finally, you can actually.
Oh yeah. See. Hold on. Zoom it out a little bit. Or
like that?
No. Take it back a little bit so I can show them. Hold on. I meant like hold it way out. Don't get it stolen.
It might get stolen. This thing might get snatched out of my hand.
Anyhow, this is the gimbal, and it also stands like this. So this is what it's gonna be.
It looks really neat when it's when the phone moves around. It looks like it's doing. Yeah, it looks like it's has a mind of its own.
Okay, so let me put this back up. So
5th Street.
I thought that was interesting that I was at home commenting.
Oh yeah.
And then I pop in.
No, you should have stayed commenting on your phone.
I guess. But I was paying attention to where the bus was. I didn't want to lose track of the bus.
Oh, you might have even been able to get Wi-Fi from the bus stop or close to it.
Oh, we didn't get off. Did you want to go?
I'm not done setting up. We could stay on for a while. We're close to the end anyhow. Oh, that's what the gimbal looks like. I've been wondering what everyone else sees when you're walking by. Yeah, so... Oh, hold on. I didn't finish setting up.
Please hold on.
Boom. And I'm gonna turn it on. Oops.
Dude, your video at my house, it's still playing.
Oh, it is?
Your video's playing loud in my room right now.
Oh, really? Because you were thinking of going. So people may pop into your room and see what's going on over there, huh?
Yeah, they're gonna see us. They're gonna hear us talking.
They're gonna hear you, so people are knocking and opening up your door and seeing you on the video.
There I am. There I'm live on my own TV.
4th Street.
Hey, Mom. That's just what they say.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn this off and back on again because it's a little slanted. Sorry about that. Okay.
I got that Hey Mom from Jesse Morris.
Hold on. I'm gonna clean the lenses while I still can too. So they want to know what your Facebook name is.
I wouldn't even know. I guess it's just my first and last name, the same name that shows up there. I mean, but then again, there's lots of people with that same name.
Can they search by email?
I don't really know. But if they give me their information, maybe I can find them. I don't really know. I'm not into Facebook that much.
Can't you just get a link? Oops.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's still slanted.
It's something that I have not done before. I have not shared and all that.
Whoa. Okay.
Please hold on.
Well, I guess this is how it's
got
gonna
like
have to be.
gyros in there or something. What's going
Yeah,
on?
it's got gyroscopes, got 3 different motors. Yeah, it used to be the gimbals were all very noisy, you know?
Thank you.
Oh, look, that's what park is
3rd
that?
Street.
We're in summer.
That was,
Jewish Museum.
Wow, they're completely rebuilding something. No, we passed by Verbo Buena Park, that's what that was.
Yeah.
So we're by the Metreon.
We're on 3rd Street. We're on 3rd and Mission.
Can't find you. I guess there's probably a lot of people named Carlos Velardo.
There's a few, yeah.
Gallardo.
Yeah, there's a few pages worth of it.
Doors are opening.
Okay. The sun was out when I got on the bus. Now it's starting to actually get dark.
Well, we're also downtown where even if the sun was out, we may not see it. You know.
But yeah, what time is it?
Let me see. It's 7:49. Let's see. Hi. Background music is North Korean. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Look at all that alcohol.
Hold on. You passed Jesse Square, I assume. If you add me on Facebook, you can see my weekly hiking pics. Hey, Carlos, you gotta figure out how to share your Facebook.
Yeah. Hold on. I mean, could you put it in the description? Like when I get home, could you put it into the description, Carlos's Facebook?
I could try.
We can try that.
Hold on.
There's not much on there because I haven't done anything.
Let me put my bag back up. Oops.
Oh yeah, it's still playing.
So you still have your thing set up at home?
My computer?
Yeah.
The TV on? Yeah.
How loud is it, would you say?
Pretty loud.
Doors are opening.
Let's get off at the next stop. Oh, we could get off here if you want.
Chilly. I just figured it's more interesting, you know, like walking around.
Sure. So that's...
Yeah.
Hold on, my screen's on.
I was a little Carlos about a month ago.
You were in a little bit better condition when you were on stream. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, buddy, that's the kind of stuff you can see out here on a regular basis. So we're at 2nd Street. That's Market Street. Where should we go?
More entertaining over there.
Let me try to see if I can catch up on any comment. 8. No, that wasn't the 8. That was the 14.
Yeah. Should we cut across like one of the middle blocks?
Let's go where those people kind of accosted me last time.
Okay.
So that was just right over there. That was the guy who was selling his poop.
Oh damn. So whatever happened to walking across the city?
Well, I walked into Daly City almost.
You had reached the end of the city. That would have literally been walking all the way across.
Shit.
we just walked into a red light and then
Yeah, I just saw the light change and I was like, okay, time to walk.
That's what happens when you follow just what everyone else is doing. Like,
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Well, we were kind of following each other. I just saw that the light had changed. I didn't see what it had changed to.
Oh man, almost getting killed again.
Lee, the first video I saw of yours was the Chinese lady with a towel on her head on Muni. Have you seen her again? No, I haven't seen her again. However, I have heard with people who know people who work with her, and apparently she was in a treatment facility, a mental health facility over in Napa. So she did get some help, which is good. But I've also heard other people who said that they live with her, but not everybody who contacted me about her was entirely sane. So you never know. There's a lot of people who say that they know somebody, but they kind of they're not all with it, you know.
A lot of people think that video was staged.
They think it's fake. That's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to do these live streams. Hold on. Hey there, buddy. Are you homeless? You stay out here on the streets?
Yeah.
I got something for you. Here you go. So this side is a flashlight that you could twist on, and the other side is a whistle. So if you ever get in trouble, you could go ahead and whistle for help.
Okay.
If anybody's ever harassing you, or do people leave you alone out here on the streets?
Mostly.
You ever have people accost you? I mean, anybody assault you?
Not yet.
Not yet. How long you been out here on the streets?
Since November.
Since November, so, of 2018. What happened?
Oh, I was in off of Ocean Avenue for a little while.
Were you thrown out of your housing?
Yeah.
Wow. You haven't tried to get into any shelters or anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you on a wait list right now? Or you gave up on the whole shelter thing?
Not really.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's lots of resources out there. Have you tried going over to Glide?
Yeah, but I never made it.
You know, if you know, I have a friend who was deep into alcoholism, and if you want to get sober, it's not as hard as you think. It really is. There are a lot of resources out there to help you out. So if you ever want to, you could go to the emergency room. They could help you get clean over there too. So my friend, I thought he was a goner, and they gave him some medication, and he's back to normal. So it's not, even though it may seem dire right now, you could definitely bounce back from this. You know, you might want to just pop into the emergency room, tell them that you got a problem,
Yeah, I know.
and they could clean you up.
I know.
You know.
But I gotta be clean too, because last time I went in there, they kicked me out because I was pretty much
You slip back.
mobile and ambulatory and just a mess.
Yeah.
So they don't, you know, gotta use some clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, anyhow, I hope everything turns out for you. And listen, at any time you could go over to the emergency room and get cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know, it's never too late. You know. All right then, buddy.
Which one?
I went to St. Francis Hospital. just because it was closer. But you could go to General Hospital if you want. Yeah. But anyhow, hope everything works out for you. And if you're ever in any trouble, just make sure to use that whistle if anybody's bothering you. No problem.
Some guy just asked me if I could sell him some cannabis.
I smelled him.
You smelled it?
Yeah. I mean, he smelled like he already had cannabis on him. Like he was smoking it. He walked past.
I told him to go to the dispensary. There was one over there.
Okay, good job, guys. Man, it kind of would have been good for you to be there with me because that, 420?
Maybe that's where he was trying to get to.
Oh.
That's where he was trying to get to. He was like, I'm looking for cannabis. Do you have any? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this 420 holidays. That was always something I looked forward to.
Wow, is that today?
No.
No, it's April 17th.
Yeah.
So in 3 days.
Golden Gate Park, 420. Watch out. It's going to be a one big ass smoking party over there.
Well, look right here, ladle and leaf. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's food.
Yeah, if anyone's familiar with 420 at Golden Gate Park, like, wow.
Yeah, it gets insane over there, huh?
Oh boy.
I've seen people like just smoking just ridiculous
joints
over there.
When it comes to celebrating cannabis culture, like it just does not get more extreme than that. It just does not. So this is not the wide angle.
No, how come you hide behind my shoulder though? You should come closer.
Like how? You mean like actually touching?
No, come closer. There we go. Because you're smaller. If you're further away, you're going to be even tinier. You already look kind of tiny.
I don't mind being tiny as long as I'm in there, because if I'm closer, then like I'm taking up like a third of the screen.
Yeah. I don't know, because when you're behind me, you're even like further down there. I'm cutting off my own head to get you in frame. You know?
Yeah.
See, watch. Go back behind me again.
Yeah.
So I got to go like that. Yeah, that's fine for you.
Yeah.
I'm like that. But if I go like this, it's not fine because you're getting your head cut off. You look like a little kid.
With this particular one, I'm always like...
Yeah, that's why. Go closer and you'll be up higher.
Okay. So...
I didn't say go in, just go closer to the... Yeah. Anyhow, you could come on the other side.
Boom. A lot of the time you want the gimbal to be in the middle.
No, because it's bonking my arm, kind of. I gotta be able to. I should switch arms too. Okay, so anyhow, people are saying stuff. Hi, Ola says Kurtz. 420 at Hippie Hill for you. What's going on with your thing?
It's just hard to turn up YouTube.
Oh, I saw a notification. Lee's channel is live.
I know.
We should tune in. Imagine a global holiday for meth.
Oh.
That'd be no good. That holiday would last forever, wouldn't it? So let me put on my jacket. Can you hold this for a second? Be careful of that. Mind that cable. So you can actually move it by twisting your wrist.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why.
How much are these things?
They can be quite expensive. But this one I bought on a holiday, on a Chinese holiday. I was able to get it for a discount. It was like $100. Normally it's more.
Wow, I kind of want to get one.
Yeah, you should. If you're gonna stream, you should definitely get one, because this it's got two benefits. You know, one, it's a gimbal, but also it's a selfie stick. You know, this is the only gimbal / selfie stick that they make.
Yeah, just holding the phone with your hand would also make your hand tired, right? Your arm and your hand.
Well, the thing is that's nice about this, and my back is already sweating. The thing that's nice about that is that it makes things smoother, and it's a relief that you're not holding your arm out. Although we are with this because the front-facing camera is cropped in. However, it's more weight, so it kind of, you'll see I'll be doing this all the time, trying to pop my clavicle because it gets really painful.
Yeah, with the wide angle though, the image does look a little distorted. At least with this one, it's more of what's really here.
But what the crazy part is this is a wide-angle front-facing camera. They just crop it out.
Well, that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it's just how it's something that Samsung does. So they get, like, you know, they have two front-facing cameras. Hey, you can go this way a little bit. I feel like you're hiding behind my shoulder.
It depends on where you hold it, because it's a lot of the time you're holding it right in front of us, and then I do have to be this way. But if you hold it there, then I can be all the way over here, and it's fine.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
Yeah, it's already 8. We need to wrap it up.
Amazon Go. Look at this. Looks like a Subway's, but it's an Amazon. What is this? Did you know that Amazon had its own little restaurant here?
I believe this is where you can come in and just grab anything you want and not go through checkout. It does some sort of electronic thing where it keeps track. You can just go in there, grab whatever you want, and walk right out.
Wow, really?
Yeah. See, no lines, no checkout. Just go in there, grab what you want, but you need an app or something like that.
Yeah, well, they say that, yet they got security right there. Too bad. That'd be cool if they had a little Amazon store. We could go in there, get a portable battery pack, you know, or other gadgets you would get through
I saw a
Amazon.
commercial for that place where somebody just goes in, they grab their sandwich, and just walks right back out.
Wow. Would you mind if I asked where you met Christina? Oh, I met her over at City College. So we're taking the same English course, and I was over inside the City College bookstore, CCSF bookstore, because it was our second class, and I didn't have the book. I didn't have the money. You know, I was struggling. I was, you know, struggling with homelessness, basically. Actually, thanks to the Guardian Scholar program, I was able to get housing. I was living in a hotel, so I didn't have money to buy a book, and they didn't have the book inside the library, so I was reading it over in the bookstore. And
that pretty thing?
she was next to me, and like reading the book next to me, and then I just went over and we started joking with her about how cheap we were. Actually turned out later that she had already purchased the book, but it hadn't been delivered yet. But, you know, I was joking with her, and yeah, I could definitely tell that she was interested, and that's how it goes.
This is neat.
And then also, you know, she waited for me outside of the bookstore to walk with me.
Aww.
And then later she was sitting next to me. You know?
She wouldn't be very obvious about that, right? So.
Oh man, it was obvious to me.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyhow, Carlos wants us to look at this.
Yeah, let's get a close up. I mean, like, if it only had fish, like, can you imagine?
Well, I can make it fish eye. You want to see the fish eye attachment?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, no, that would make it look smaller. It would be cool. I mean, it already looks small in the camera. Here, it's quite big.
Yeah. Well, why don't you stand... Oh, man, too bad you couldn't go in there. That would be the best.
Oh, but I just got wet.
Damn it.
The sides of this thing are overflowing.
Yeah, if only you could find a way to get inside there without getting wet. And then, you know...
I was already cold. Now I'm cold and wet.
So...
We don't like that.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a long time ago. I think I was, I was 21 at the time.
That was actually the first time I saw you with a girlfriend.
Yeah, I never really had like a real girlfriend before that.
I kind of was expecting you to have multiple girlfriends to date. And then I see you with your first girlfriend, and then that's the one you stayed with.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I had weird kind of stuff, you know. Like Celine, it wasn't really exactly boyfriend girlfriend, you know.
See, looking away. Gimbal wanted to look over there.
Does it ever get into the negative digits for temperature in SF? No, first. Let's keep on going.
When I first came out into the city, I was just like amazed at how big the buildings were. I had never seen such things. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And these aren't even the big ones. These are small ones compared to the bigger ones.
Yeah.
See, like any one of these would be the biggest building in any other town.
Yeah.
But here, they're just all they're invisible.
It kind of sucks when you work downtown, you know, and yeah, you're just basically spending your whole life indoors, never seeing the sun, because it's you get up to go work. You're working 9 to 5. You come out and it's dark, you know. And you're also inside of the buildings all block the sun. You know, back when, like, that's what I was thinking when we lived over at Turk Street.
I mean, hopefully you get the window, right? You get a window.
Well, not necessarily. What if you're working inside the mall?
Right.
The only brief little bit of sun you get to see is when you're going to and from work. You didn't bring a jacket, Carlos. It's gonna get chilly.
I wasn't expecting to come out here. Because Lee was passing by my house on the bus, so I left my house. My TV is still on, playing Lee's channel at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I left my house. I don't even have my wallet with me. And I hopped onto the bus just to pop in and say hi.
Man, if they checked tickets, you would have been boned, huh?
Yeah.
Hi, Amy M. Amy M's on screen.
Amy M and the birds. Is that right?
Animals. Well, she's got a parrot on her shoulder or something along those lines.
Ah, yes, Amy. Yes,
Yeah.
I also enjoy furry creatures.
You were just talking about how you wanted to kill furry creatures.
I said how much it turned my stomach about killing furry creatures. What are you talking about?
You said you wanted to even have a cow.
For milk and butter and
What about those chickens? Well, they're not furry.
those are for eggs.
What kind of chickens would you have? Would you ever get any silkies?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what silkies are?
No.
They're black chickens.
Yeah.
They're called silky because their feathers are so fine. You know, they look like furry chickens.
I'm a
They're
city
called-
boy, and most of my farming experience just comes from going to the state fair once a year.
Or living with your uncle.
Yeah, my uncle. Yeah, I lived with my uncle for a while, and he raised a lot of his own food.
Hold on one second. I want to show this right over here.
This is Cyril Norris. This is an original Cyril Norris right here. He's the guy that does the background for Bob's Burgers. If you guys are familiar with Bob's Burgers, this guy is he's a local here. He has a studio on Valencia Street, and he's got murals all over the city. He's one of the greatest here in the city. He's a legend, and he's still quite young too.
I just wanted to show this because there used to be these hearts all over the city, but I don't see them as much anymore.
Right.
Remember, it used to be a thing. You would just go all around the city seeing those hearts, and now there's just like a few token ones left.
Yeah.
What happened to them?
Original artwork. Yeah.
And every one of them was different. And you'd see some that would be like disco, you know, that have broken mirrors all over it, and some that would just have different patterns.
That was like what? That was like early 2000s.
Yeah, mid 2000s, let's say.
They were in San
But
Jose.
you still see there's still one over in Union Square. But yeah, you hardly see them anymore when they used to be all over. So anyhow, let's see. Yes, she's the bird lady. Cat has 4 dogs and they're all 5 pounds each. Now you can put them all together, get a nice good sized dog. We're in the East Cut. That looks wicked. Carlos and Lee, you guys are awesome. Love watching the videos, and I really hope to watch more of the streams live since you guys are so awesome. Well, thank you. And now I got a proper schedule. Although it's kind of aggressive. I do one of these streams, and then I recover the next day, and I'm out there doing it again. It's going to be crazy when I start working again on those days that I have off, because I don't really have much time outside of that to do my editing and other stuff.
Even when it was once a week, it still kind of came a little too soon. If like you didn't expect it to come so soon, right? Even once a week.
It's so time consuming just raising a family, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's fun while you're doing it, but then knowing that it is an obligation that you have to stop whatever you were planning on doing.
Well, that's why I try to adopt a schedule and actually treat it like a job, you know. Hopefully, eventually, it'll be something that with positive earning.
Right. Before you came out, you were saying that the schedule wasn't working out for you.
I think I was a little over aggressive with my starting time. I wanted to start earlier. 6 might be slightly too early because you know I gotta wait for the wife to come home, you know, and then go out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe, I guess you'd have to get creative with it, and maybe if you're stuck at home, do something at home.
But you know, the waifu doesn't want to be on stream, so what can you do?
But have that beautiful skyline that you have behind your from the view that you get. Maybe have that in the background.
But I don't want to like show exactly where I live.
Do you think people would pinpoint where you live just by?
Oh, I think it would be easy.
Really?
Yeah, I think it would be very easy. You know, there was some guy who had a flag in his in a remote location that he was flying, and some trolls online were able to find where that was. So it was live streaming, and so they were looking at the stars. And they were looking at the stars and were able to find out the general location.
Wow.
And were honking as they drove past to find out where it exactly was, and went over there and like defaced it.
Wow.
It said like F you on the live stream.
They'd have to like line up 2 objects and then they'd be able to pinpoint where you were. But yeah, that's the revolving restaurant.
Oh, that one, man, we went there a long time. The Equinox.
Yeah, that's. Can you zoom in?
Yeah, I can. Let me cross the street. Hopefully this guy doesn't hit me.
That's a very unique restaurant because you sit in there and you're on a spinning. It rotates.
Yeah,
It spins
you
around.
can't even really see it. I'm gonna zoom in a second after I get past this tree.
Oh, the inside of the hotel is also really cool. It's been in a lot of movies.
Oh, could you take us to a glass elevator?
Oh, that's in Union Square. But that one's got it too. Want to go in there?
Would they let us?
Yeah, totally. It's a tourist attraction.
Okay, so so that right there, that's whoops. Let me get my finger. It's great.
Let's go up there.
That rotates. What time are you ending this one? I'm cooking spaghetti and meat sauce for my kids, but wanted to ask you guys something regarding your youth in the SF foster care system. Let me see. Well, you want to stick around for another hour, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like I just got started on this.
Yeah, we just got downtown, so let's do it until 9. That 6 to 8, that's what I consider the minimum.
Yeah, you can at least expect that.
Yeah, so maybe I'll change. I don't want to say 6 to 9 and then someday be like dying, you know. So I just want to I want to exceed the requirement. I also got to talk about when I was institutionalized. So maybe we should talk about that when things are a little bit better.
Yeah, the inside of that hotel, it's very spacious.
Because I promised Carlo Gambino I was going to talk about it when I got off the bus, but then, you know, we saw you and it became a little bit distracting. But I didn't forget. It suddenly got pretty dark here, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, the buildings, they block out the sun.
I know, but there's not too much street light here either.
Oh, they have those old-fashioned ones. Not the like one of your commenters was saying that it looks old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Golden back.
Well, look, not even all the lights are lit either.
Yeah, a lot of these fixtures have been out here since before the 1906 earthquake. A lot of these things.
Yeah, so you got these old yellowy lights, and you got some whiter lights over there.
The Hyatt Regency. It's been and then
Haley and Carlos came at the end. Don't worry, Lalam, we're gonna stick around.
the lamb. The beef stew was amazing. I still have a bunch at home. Yeah, I made it this morning. It was awesome. I'm still full right now. I'm stuffed.
Yeah, you should be full for a while.
I don't think I'm gonna have any more tonight. I want to save it. I'm gonna let it marinate tonight.
Yeah.
I might even finish it if I tried. If I tried to finish it, I could.
Ooh, man, that's a lot. Have you been enjoying that broth too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just
Well, why not add flour? Everyone in the tutorials was adding flour and making it nice and thick and gravy.
no, because that's not helping you. That's going to be hurting you. You know that you were living. But I mean that's because you're making so much. The salt isn't really as much as you think. You know, you're making 5 gallons of beef stew,
Yeah,
and you're
right.
just using 1 tablespoon of salt in that whole 5 gallons.
I couldn't believe that. I put all my spices and salt and the cumin and all. I put it in one little bowl.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, really, this is it for this whole pot?
Yeah,
But it turned out okay.
yeah.
I mean, people might add salt to that, but it's fine. It's fine the way it is.
Well, I think you put the lid on it when you should have had the lid off to let it sort of thicken naturally. And anyhow, every time you go to eat some, don't put it in the microwave. Take it out and heat up the pot again. The soup will get thicker on its own.
Yeah, it's already doing that. It's getting darker and thicker.
Yeah, so you don't need to be adding flour to it.
And the potato made it starchier.
I used to add. Where are you going, Carlos?
Are we gonna go inside the pipe?
It says exit only.
You don't want to go inside?
Okay, let's try. We may be thrown away. Okay.
You know, it's just a change of pace.
So let's go around over this way. Hey, look, the F car. You can go get on here. The F car. Sorry, the cable car.
These cable cars used to be all over the city. Now they just have a few.
Yeah. So, anyhow, the good news is that there's no protest here, right, Carlos?
Oh, you mean like a hotel? That all
Yeah.
ended, huh? It all passed.
Okay. So anyhow, here we are. So, can you lead the way?
Yeah.
I think it'd be better if we acted like we knew where we were going. You're gonna be the star, okay, Carlos? It says automatic, please do not push.
I'm just eager.
Alright, let's
Look at this crazy place.
yeah.
All right. It feels more like it. When you see the view from the elevators, it's just fun to ride the elevator.
Yeah. Oh. Boy, sure is packed today, isn't it? Oh. So is the signal gonna cut out? It's already been pressed. Is the signal gonna cut out inside the elevator?
I don't think so. It's not like we're behind a bunch of floors and stuff. You know, like the outside is just right there.
What's it like living in such a big city? I come from a city of about 200,000. Well, it's only 4 times more people.
It's hard to get bored. There's always something to do.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff to do.
Something to see.
Okay, here we go.
Point the camera out there.
Of course. Would you have it pressed against there? I feel like you don't get the whole view that way.
President. Maybe see the inside of the elevator for a bit.
So,
Three presidents. Are you still president right
This
now?
reminds me of like the pre 9/11 shots of the World Trade Center.
here we go.
I went to Sophia University last year. It was fun. You were there, right?
Going up.
Look at how spacious it is inside. Empty real estate.
Yeah, how's your jet lag?
No problem. Yes,
No
no
problem.
problem.
This could have all been filled with hotel rooms, but instead it's just
Should I switch back to the wide angle?
Going up.
I feel like the wide angle might not be, you know?
You can fly an airplane inside this building. I mean, look at this.
Very, very big. This conference is very successful.
Yeah, I forget there was a Clint Eastwood movie that had this. It was shot in here somewhere.
Carla says the mom just joined. She says hi to us.
Hi, Miss Gambino. We're in an elevator right now, checking out the Hyatt Regency.
Floor
Oh yeah, and by the way, what
going
is that
up.
city of 200,000? I'd like to hear what city that is. But yeah. What's interesting is the denser the population, the faster they walk and the faster they talk.
Floor 11. Going up.
Yeah, look, there's what we're in basically.
Outside.
That's beautiful. Where's this at? This is the Hyatt. What's the cross street?
Well, it's at the end of Market. It's
Floor 12.
it's across the
Going
street.
down.
It's across from the ferry building on Market Street.
I think Mel Brooks filmed the movie High Anxiety here.
Floor 12. Going down.
Wait, go ahead. I wanted to get you in there for scale. Oh, why is it going down? Oh, guess we got to the top.
Yeah, the revolving restaurant. I mean, it's okay. The scenery changes all the time.
Whoa.
That's kind of soothing for my big stuffed belly. That's kind of nice.
Just to stand here?
No, the going down.
Oh, okay.
Gas ballroom. Going up.
All right.
There we go. We did it.
There we go. Wow, somebody had their high school can we go? Okay, go ahead. Somebody had their high school winter ball here.
Nice. What a nice night to be out tonight. It's been so rainy lately.
Yeah.
Finally.
Hi. Oh, let's see. Leads on streams from the bay. But now I just live out in the middle of nowhere. Well, I don't know. Everything has its own little pros and cons, right?
I suppose out there it's probably safer.
More nature, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
not. So sometimes it's just urban decay out in some of those places.
It's probably cheaper as well to live out there.
Less to do, though.
You can always have your personal hobbies to engage. You don't have to, rely on the chaos of the city.
So we're back over on Market, and there's the ferry building. So that's where we came from. Actually, right around over that way.
Oh, the map maybe of the city?
Oh,
Maybe that's something they might want to see.
so the city's actually pretty small. Actually, this isn't the entire city. There's more that way.
Yeah, this is where we are. Yeah, this would be downtown right here.
Yeah, this is just a little section. So here's Mission Street. So I guess I started from somewhere under the ground here.
Yeah, this is like less than a quarter of the city, so this is like 1/4 of it.
Yeah.
The Golden Gate Bridge doesn't even show on here. The Golden Gate Bridge would be like over here.
I couldn't really see because it's backlit, you know. Have you guys ever been to or watched a game at AT&T Park? Yeah, I think so. Actually, I've been to Candlestick Park.
It's no longer there.
Yeah,
It's gone.
I lived across the street from it, basically. So I lived right in that area. Every time there was a game, it would be crazy. The map left out Sunset. Yeah, Sunset, Richmond. I left out a lot of areas. The Mission, basically. Oracle Park now. Oh, AT&T changed to Oracle Park?
Yeah, that's right.
So there's not really a whole lot over here, is there?
The Embarcadero.
Yeah. I always go to. Sorry. Let's switch positions.
You pull in the middle again.
I'm gonna have it over here on the side.
Do you think I should hold it at some point just so you can rest your arm?
Well, it's kind of attached to a cable that's
Oh, gotcha.
in my pocket.
Yeah, that's can't really get past that.
Well, we could put it in your pocket.
Yeah, I know. I was being sarcastic.
Let's see. Cat RN, good night, Carlos and Lee. Gotta go to work in the morning. All right, see you, Cat. Oh, you know what? I never talked about when I was institutionalized, but I guess you guys could hear that on the replay.
Yeah. Have yourself a good night.
All right, good night, Cat.
Sleep well, and have a good day tomorrow.
Let me find a place to sit down. And look, it's a full moon. This never comes through on camera.
Nice.
Let me see if I have any kind of exposure compensation.
It's so hard to get away from the stream when it's live. Like, I'm surprised.
Let's not
RN
affect it.
I'm surprised the Cat RN can do it.
Yeah, well, you know, she's a nurse. She gotta wake up early.
I have a hard time getting away from the stream. Like, I just want to watch it, a little bit of it, and then I can't get away from it.
Yeah, you fall asleep with it on.
Yeah.
Wake back up, it's still on.
Yeah. Then I have to rewind it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the skateboarders, they're always here. I always feel like I'm gonna get hit in the leg with the skateboard, the flying skateboard.
Carlos, do you ever meditate?
I have done it in the past, but no. I probably should engage more in some meditation. I sure could use it.
Yeah. Oh, you should. Nah, let's not run for it.
Meditation and/or yoga.
I did meditation before. I learned from somebody who actually was apparently somebody pretty major.
But when I do artwork, that's sort of like meditation. When I'm engaged in an 8-hour-long stream of drawing or painting or creating something out of wood, that's like meditation.
Well, that's that's like a fugue state. That's like you're in the zone. It's intense focus, which is the opposite of meditation.
Is that wow?
Yeah. Meditation is completely letting go of all thoughts, of all,
Yeah.
Whereas,
I would need some guidance.
like when you're doing art, you're just intensely focused.
I've had like guided meditations, where somebody's guiding me through, like, breathe, now do this, now do that.
Yeah. My meditation, or when I'm on my bike in forest or a gym. Yeah, again, that's just like sort of a focus,
Should we pass through the building?
When you actually meditate, and after you stop, you feel like you just woke up. Like you have this you feel like flushed.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on our plate that are, things weighing us down emotionally that don't need to be there.
Let's go through. So, here we are. Hey, let's go see that. Do you think that fish place that you had the fried crab was the soft shell crab?
It's always a shame how early everything closes in here. These are such nice.
I think the restaurants stay open later though, right?
I can never afford anything in this place though. Like a little.
Oh, there it is. The fish place is still open. So when I was over in the homeless shelter, I knew somebody who worked here.
So
I mean, he was also homeless as well, but he worked at this place, and he was basically taking money from there.
So we're inside the ferry building. This is like a landmark, city landmark.
So over here you can get some soft shell crab.
That little grocery store back there tends to stay open quite late. I've noticed.
Sorry. You want to go see that, or what do you want to go?
Sure. Like go through it, and then come out and look at the piers.
I used to work at the bakery here. But that guy who worked over at that fish restaurant behind me, hold on. Jesus Christ. The person who worked at that fish place, he would sell stuff to people, give them the change, and that money would never hit the register. And people will go in and buy like a $50 tin of caviar, and he would sell it to him and just put that in his pocket, you know? Oh, wow, let me see. Oh, it's not switching. There it goes.
Oh man, if I was on mushrooms, I'd be here all day watching that.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Got one of the old style, I don't know what you call this. So this is for the ferry. There it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, page 1 of 2. So there's gonna be page 2 coming pretty soon.
I'm sure this take a while.
Yeah.
Like somebody could be impatient. Like my train's about to, my boat's about to leave.
Damn it, it's on page 2. Okay, anyhow, let me show you guys the bakery I used to work at.
You know, I've noticed that since I quit smoking, drinking, all that, I don't cough. Like I had a persistent cough all the time, coughing all the time. Not anymore.
Yeah. That's Acme bread.
Yep, there it is.
Yep, that's where I used to work at.
I used to see Lee right there at that register, and he would give me bread when I was living on the streets. That was a big treat. I felt like I had connections. I would get a free piece of bread.
Yeah, I'd
Good
give
bread
you
too, real good.
like nice good loaf.
Like heavy, solid. Had cranberries, walnuts.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh boy. Oh, and that's patisserie. Right over there.
Is this the supermarket? Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
Well, good. It hasn't changed.
Let's see. Where should we go? That's the question. Where is the Oakland one? How old is that ticker? I don't know. It must be pretty old. I have no idea. What was it?
Like out into the piers and all.
Sure. Let me use El Baño. Do you need to use El Baño as well?
I have half a pot of stew in me right now.
Is it going to be a while for you to finish your baño?
I'm gonna have to hold it until I get home.
Oh, really? It's one of those, eh? Well, I'm going to be very brief.
That's why I'm pregnant pretty much.
Are you sure you're not growing a little belly there, Carlos?
It's not fat.
All right, here you go. Here's the gimbal.
Your eyes are better than my eyes. I can't
Well,
see
it's bigger over on this side.
Where is the Oakland one?
The Oakland ticker, probably. The Oakland ferry. Go ahead and put that in your pocket, I guess.
How old is that ticker?
I have no idea.
Right here?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Can you help me?
There you go. Boom.
Yes. Oh boy. Here we are, the ferry building. Let's see. Oh. I will show the audience the outside. It's quite pretty. So we were just on Market Street, and you go through this ferry building, that giant clock tower that you guys saw, and let's see. Then we come out here and switch the camera around, and yeah, this is where people come to get on a ferry boat. They get on a ferry boat out here and go all over the Bay Area. Go out to Vallejo, Sausalito. It's a good way to get around. A couple weeks ago, there was actually a crash here, where one of the boats crashed into that. I believe it was that place there. It was all over the news. It's not every day you see a boat crash. And yeah. Over the water. There's actually quite a bit of sea life out here too. So you'll see seals and sea lions come up. People feeding the birds, the seagulls and whatnot. Let's see here. I'm still getting used to this gimbal thing. These should be finishing up shortly. Carlos is definitely can start doing live streams as well. Definitely was. Max Diner. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I enjoyed joining my friend Lee. I mean, you know, personally, I don't know. I have a lot of other things going on with my personal life. I don't think I have enough time like Lee does. But yeah, there he is. He's just having some water. Let's see if he notices me out here. Getting hydrated.
So what happened?
Nothing much.
Oh, really?
I did zoom in a bit. I'm not sure if it's still zoomed in.
I heard a horrible smash, and then I heard, damn it, that happened. So I guess that wasn't you, huh?
Were you worried about your equipment?
Yeah, I was like, damn it. You know?
Yeah, I almost dropped it in the water. I'm just kidding.
No, it didn't sound like that's what happened. Let me... Oh, whoops. So this got unplugged, Carlos. Were you aware of that?
That might have happened just now.
Was it you, Carlos?
No. Did you want to like hang out for like another few minutes while I try to?
Oh, go ahead. I'll talk to the camera. All right. So, anyhow, I think this will be a good opportunity to tell you guys about. I don't know. Maybe it's too dark. About the time that I was. Well, the time. There were several times I was institutionalized. Wow, I don't see any new comments here. Let's see. Carlos Camp, yeah. Carlos, you did a fine job of hosting. This is my first exposure to live stream. Oh wow, I think. Oh wow, so I have two comment systems up, and one is broken and one is not. So hold on, hold your comments just for now. I'm going to wipe the comments. Hopefully it'll restart. Okay, so I can't see anything right now. I'll let you know when I start seeing comments again. Should be soon. Okay, I think it's ready. So if you guys say something, it should pop up on screen. So basically, when I lived with my mother from 11 to 13, you know, she was schizophrenic. She'd be smashing into stuff, and it was really difficult. I don't see any comments, by the way, so go ahead. Something. Okay. It looks like I have. Okay, there we go. All right, I am seeing that. So it was really difficult for me in that environment, and I needed to take a break from it from time to time. You know, because we're like living basically on top of each other in little tiny place over there. Well, I'm getting to the restraints, Carlo Gambino. So what I used to do would be, you know, pretend to kill myself. You know, pretend not to kill myself, pretend to attempt to kill myself. You know, I'd act like I was trying to hang myself from the chandelier, or put a bag over my head. Just because I knew my mom was gonna freak out. And hello, oh Nolan, I'll tell you about that in a moment. So I, you know, I would do that, and then she would call the ambulance, or you know, the fire department would come, and I'd be 5150, so I'd be held into a hospital for a couple days as they analyzed me. And you know, that would that little break would be really good for me, you know, just so I could get a break of dealing with my mother. I never told them what was going on, why I was entering there, which is kind of funny that they never were asking me what was going on, you know. But you know, I was 5150 from time to time, but then I also would get 5250, which is they would, instead of it just being 2 days at the hospital, they would take me over to to like a proper institution. And an institution is a place where you're confined in there. You're locked up inside this place, and it's not a hospital. It's for people with serious psychological issues. And so there's orderlies there. I mean, basically, if you see something like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that's what you can expect. And so I would stay there for a while, and then, after 3 weeks, the time is up, and then they decide what to do from there. So I'd be there for a couple weeks, and they send me back with my mother. So this one time, is also the feigning suicide. There's Carlos. Feigning suicide attempts is also how I got out of a couple of nasty group homes, because the group homes were pretty rough and corrupt. Why don't you sit down, Carlos?
Oh, that's better.
Anyhow, I was in this one institution over in Oakland. We're up inside the 6th floor. There was there was no outside access. The windows didn't open. The windows were plexiglass. There was bars on the windows, even though the windows didn't open and they were plexiglass. And the only outdoor area was the roof. And we weren't allowed to go onto the roof. So we're basically confined inside the whole time. And people were kind of losing it, talking about going, just basically at the conditions there. And in fact, I had gone on a hunger strike inside the institution and didn't eat for a couple weeks. But I'm not sure, they're kind of blending together. But this one particular institution, somebody actually got upset and threw a chair, like a big heavy wooden chair, at the window because he was so frustrated that we were locked up in there, and it bounced off of the window and hit him right in the face. One day I was complaining. I wasn't yelling or anything. I was just complaining, like, it's ridiculous. We're in here. We don't get any air. We don't get to see outside. The bars can't open, and the windows can't open, and there's bars on the windows. The orderlies came out and smashed me up against the wall. It's like, what the hell is ridiculous? What are you doing? I wasn't even yelling. I was talking like I'm talking now, and they pushed me up against the wall, and they were trying to restrain me. And there was 3 of them on top of me, and I was somewhere between 11 and 13 at the time. But they eventually restrained me, and strapped me into a gurney, took me out into the back to a quiet room, and strapped me face down in some leather restraints in on a bed, and told me that I need to take this medication. And I said, well, no, I don't want to take this stuff. They said, all right, well, they were trying to give me Ativan. They said, all right, you either take it by mouth or we're going to inject you. So I was like, all right, well, then I guess I'll take it. And they gave me 4 milligrams of Ativan. This started in the evening. It wasn't even the evening. I think there was still light out when I was put in there. They gave me that Ativan, 4 milligrams, and I was just looking at the wall. I felt like I was lucid the whole time, but I was just looking at the, like I said already, the patterns kind of swirling around on the wall, and looking at a little world and a little village of little paper people moving in the wall there. It was all the same color and the same texture, But so I was just there, just staring at that for hours, and they left me in there all night, strapped to my belly in this in this place. and they had like a little window with, I mean, a door with a little window that they could peek through. I couldn't turn around and look because I'm, you know, face down, with my belly strapped with my head away from there. So I guess they left me in there all night, and then in the morning, were feeding me cereal. So I'm strapped like this is the bed. My face is like this, and they're like spoon feeding me cereal. The milk spilling all over the place. So I spent a significant amount of time strapped over there. But that was the time that I was in restraints. So it's funny that the doctor was talking about Ativan, how the Ativan would be different for Carlos than it was for me. And Carlos was given 1/4 of what I was given. And he's an adult, you know? So yeah, I said, no, I've been on a lot more Ativan than that. And then she said, oh, it was an institution. And I was telling her, and she was like, yeah, I know, you know, she was going off on that.
I noticed the Ativan. I did notice that felt more enjoyable than the Librium. The Librium, I don't recall feeling anything special.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Ativan was something that was pretty neat to experience.
Yeah, it's no good being inside those institutions. I've been in a couple of them. But at the same time, I wish I wasn't doped up. I've been on so many different unnecessary medications in my life. But it was beneficial to just get a break from being there with my mother. That was child abuse. Well, that was my childhood, right? Was some kind of abuse of one kind or another. I mean, of course, it's not like that your whole life, your whole childhood. But, you know, giving up one to get another. You know, over inside the group homes, I mean, there's a lot of abuse over there too. You know, I was slammed through a wall actually over inside one of the group homes.
You don't have a family when you're in a group home. You're surrounded by staff. You know, people that punch in and out, do a shift, and you know, a lot of them are just there for a paycheck, and you know, a lot of the time they're worried more about a liability problem. You know, when it comes to keeping you safe and protected, they always mention the word, oh, it's a liability to do this or that. We can't let you do this or that because you know, it's a liability for us financially.
You weren't inside SWRP when they stopped buying food, were you?
When they stopped buying food, I just remember that they were very cheap about the food. We had a terrible, terrible diet.
No, so I think you had already left.
Oh man.
You already tried to hang yourself in there in the bathroom.
That was one of the worst group homes. That was the most dysfunctional, abusive group home.
Steel Right Residential Program. That's the place that I got slammed into the wall.
Yeah. The people that started that program really only started it for financial gain.
Well, that's not exactly true. So it was started by Jim.
By Laura and Mary.
No, they're the ones who helped them out. But it was Jim and Jeffrey and Jerry who tried to start it.
Those were the guys that had their heart into it, that were doing it for the right reasons. But then they ended up getting fired.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we found out later that Jim maybe had some ulterior motives.
Yeah. But yeah.
And Jeffrey too, honestly.
Usually, the staff that care and just really you know, want to help the residents, they usually end up not lasting very long. It's usually the more abusive, more like, you know.
Yeah, that place was pretty bad though. But yeah, that was where I was slammed into a wall, over a light box actually, that stabbed into my back on September 10th, 2001.
I think a staff misplaced his keys, and then everyone was basically grounded and had no privileges.
Oh man, we just spent most of our time there just sitting there during record heat waves too, with no air conditioning, just stuck to the couch like looking at each other.
No one had the keys. None of us had the keys. So some stupid staff member had just misplaced his own
they
keys.
lost the key. Yeah, but we all got punished anyhow, and there was never any kind of apology or anything done afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so signing off, guys. Thank you for sharing your story. I wish I could have been there for you. I'll watch the rest tomorrow. All right.
Who is it?
See you. This Aunt Julieta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Julieta. Well, good. Nice to have you with us
Buenos noches.
on our walk.
Yeah.
And have a
Hasta
good night.
la vista.
Bye.
Yeah. So, let's see, what happened? Slurp. So one male staffer was getting touchy-feely with the boys. Not exactly. I mean,
He was more in love with the young men there. He was a middle-aged gay guy.
That guy tried to become your foster parent.
He was very, very like in love, infatuated with me mostly.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he really did. He did everything in his power to just put me and get me under his wing and have me be with him as much as possible.
And then after that, you. Well, anyhow, let's get into. So, what happened to where you wanted to? So we were having a party, and then you went missing, and then later the ambulance came, and you were walking out of there in handcuffs.
Well, for some odd reason, the staff...
Actually, I saw when he opened the door.
Yeah, they put me in handcuffs too for... What was it, a suicide attempt?
Yeah. I saw when he opened the door and you were standing on the sink.
Yeah.
And you were about to put your head through there.
I thought it was
actually
so
was
odd.
There, and I saw that.
I was in the bathroom, and he... I guess he got a feeling that something was going on in there.
No, he always barged in when we were in the bathroom.
We weren't allowed to lock the door, right? We weren't allowed to.
I don't know. Either that, or he would open it up just all the time.
Yeah, I was in the bathroom, and I was...
That was Eddie Gapustan who opened that up.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all the names. I haven't been giving them all out. But funnily enough, he said his name is Eddie Gapustan, but on his back, the name Vasquez was tattooed on his back.
Yeah. I was always, during those times, I was always playing around with the idea of committing suicide and how I would do it, thinking about it, planning things. And that time I was planning a hanging. I was going to hang myself in from the ceiling of that small bathroom, so that when they opened the door, it would be me hanging there. And he happened to walk right in as I was in the middle of that, and
so
it got pretty dramatic.
Were you? If he hadn't opened it, would you have killed yourself? If nobody came and bothered you?
I think I would have been in there for a little while longer, thinking about it, playing around with the idea, and you just never know what might have happened. I might have not. I don't know, but it's quite possible that I would have.
I actually used your belt to do the very same thing.
Yeah,
because you were hanging yourself with your belt, and you left it there.
It was from what do they call it? An air duct that was in the bathroom.
Yeah. So there was a vent over at the top, and it was really reinforced.
I didn't have a rope.
The Beatles are playing in the background. Hopefully that doesn't get us.
Yeah, I didn't have a rope or anything, so I was thinking, gee, this belt is probably not going to do it. It's probably just going to end up hurting me, and I'm going to just get hurt. So yeah, I was just kind of playing around with the idea, kind of experimenting, because I had already played around with the idea lots of other times before when I cut my wrist. Well, not play it around. You cut it to the bone. If I really, really, really wanted to kill myself, I would have been able to do it. But you're only 12. Yeah, I was 12. Yeah. Oh, that was a serious one. I mean, yeah, blood. When I saw how fast that blood was leaving my body, like I didn't know that you could bleed that fast, that quickly. Like, yeah, I cut an artery along the side of my wrist here. Oh, they can't see that. Oh boy, I mean, wow. Is cannabis the best medicine? No, I wouldn't say so. Certainly not the best for you, Carlos. I don't know. I mean, doctor-prescribed medications can always be abused. If you're using it for medicinal reasons, who knows? Maybe it can help people out there if it's supervised by a professional. What kind of medicine do you smoke? I mean, you're smoking a cancerous substance. You can also eat it. Sure. But you're taking a psychoactive substance, you know?
So do they give you a lecture?
Yeah. I mean, look, the doctors give you stuff all the time that is bad for you, you know? They give kids ketamine when they're doing procedures on them. It causes lesions in the brain, you know? They're narcotics. The palliative care in general, just giving people pain medication so they can continue to do things that are injuresome. You can at least say... That is itself kind of harmful medicine. You can at least say that what doctors give you can easily kill you, but marijuana, you're going to have a hard time
trying to kill yourself with
People
marijuana.
have died actually from
Not from marijuana.
Yeah.
It's the spice. It's the synthetic stuff.
I heard over in Colorado, because it was legal, people were actually dying because of it, and that's why they started limiting the strength.
Yeah, natural occurring marijuana. I've never heard of a death occurring from consuming, natural marijuana.
But I know. Anyhow, what were we saying? We were saying something else before that. Oh, so. But yeah, you were actually standing up on the sink when he opened the door.
Yeah, I was looking at that belt like, is that gonna work? How am I gonna do this? I didn't want it to hurt, and I was a little nervous. I was a little scared, and when he walked in, I was caught red-handed, and he cried. We both cried. He took me into the office, and we had a bonding moment. We hugged, we cried, and then the ambulance came, and I was taken away in handcuffs.
Yeah, and I was looking out the window as you left, and you turned back and tried to wave with your hands tied behind your back.
The next few weeks after that were pretty dramatic because I was put into a mental institution for a few weeks, and being inside that mental institution was a whole nother experience.
What was that like for you?
It was like a jail where the orderlies or the nurses, or what do they call them?
Sure.
Yeah, they were dressed like nurses or healthcare professionals, but really they were thugs that were beating up the teenagers that were staying there.
Man, I didn't even talk about the time that the SWAT came when I was inside one of those places.
You told the story of the...
I didn't tell it on stream. I told you.
Oh, okay.
I never told the people on stream about when
crazy.
SWAT came.
It's an abusive environment. It's crazy.
What else? Man, they would always be drawing blood for me too, and they had some amateur rookie doctor over there. Or not even doctor, right? Because he's drawing blood. So, but
you have no voice. You have no power. They can do anything they want to you, and if you complain, well, you're the crazy one. They're the professionals. They're always going to take their word for it.
But this person was trying to take my blood, and had a big fat needle, and couldn't find my vein. He stabbed in me, and he was literally got to the point where he's digging around in there trying to cut a vein to try to get the blood out of there.
Should we walk?
And he was, I was just trying to talk about the institutions.
Man, it's getting cold, and my sleeve is still wet.
Damn it, bro. How come you didn't bring your jacket?
We've gone through this.
I know. I was just trying to rub it in a little bit.
Just, like the background's kind of boring. And being backlit.
But anyhow, you left. So after you left, because you were kind of taken out of there, all your possessions were left behind.
That's right. I was taken out of there, and everything that I owned was just left there. So then all the roommates, that's always the thing that happens, is that the roommates go in there and go through your things, see what they can take for themselves. So I did end up losing a bunch of stuff. You didn't take any of my stuff, did you?
No.
He didn't take any of my stuff.
No, but I looked. I did look through it. Yeah. I looked and I saw, your mother's hand soap, which I think you still saved because I saw it later on.
Oh, good.
But I saw your little mother's hand soap. I saw her cross, which Fletcher defiled.
Oh, yeah. Every time you move from a group home and you can't take your things with you, you end up losing a lot of your possessions.
And then I saw your tape collection, your movies.
Movies? Tape?
VHS.
Oh, wow, I had those with me? Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what we watched. We watched those movies while we were in the group home, and I thought that belongs to the group home.
Oh, wow.
I saw them in your room. I was like, what? These are his?
Those are from my home, from my mom's home.
Like The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh,
and,
wow.
I forget what other movies we had. But,
well, those are all gone.
Yeah, well, good riddance, right? It's VHS.
Luckily, I still have my photo albums and a few pictures, but that's pretty much all that's left from my previous life of being in the system.
But anyhow, I saw your belt over there, and things got really bad in that group home. I mean, they already were really bad.
So what happened after I was taken away?
Well, that's when some of the crazy stuff happened. They completely stopped buying food altogether. We're sitting there starving. The pantry's empty. There's no food in the house at all. And Fletcher, goes ahead and decides to call. He says, "Yeah, I want to talk to my lawyer. I want to talk to my social worker." And they asked, "Well, what about?" He He said, there's no, like, he blurted it out. He said, there's no food here, this and that. And so they were dragging ass, not letting him call for a long time.
Yeah.
Finally let him call, and they said, okay, we'll come over tomorrow to inspect it. That night, they went out and bought like $300 worth of groceries. So it was just, the pantry was packed. You couldn't even close the doors.
They say that you're allowed and have the right to complain and report about anything that's going on in there, but then they don't let you. You can't use the phone, or they might punish you for trying to do such a thing.
I was smashed through the wall there, probably after you left also.
If you write a grievance, they might just tear it up.
No, they had a shredder.
Yeah, you write a grievance talking about the things that are going on in there, and you're giving it to the staff. Who else do you give it to? You know.
Oh look, somebody put a link there for the marijuana overdose.
Oh, I'll check that out later. If it really is naturally occurring marijuana, none of that synthetic, man-made, in a lab spice stuff.
So Fletcher is a guy who lived there whose name was Michael Fletcher, but he's one of those guys we all called him by his last name. You know?
Yeah.
Some people you just call them by their last name. It's not exactly a good distinction, right?
He just didn't seem like a Michael. He was more of a Fletcher.
Maybe if he behaved himself, he could be a Michael, but
he was kind of a jerk.
He was a Fletcher. He went wild there one day. Were you there when he went crazy with a knife?
Oh, I was there.
Yeah. Of course, Jim was there.
I ran out of the house. I was scared of even being near that house.
He went wild with a steak knife and was swinging it around and was like cutting up the curtains with it.
Screaming like.
And yeah, just going crazy. Jim went ahead and grabbed him and got him in the bathroom and wrestled him down to the in the bathroom inside the tub and just was on top of him. But no,
that took some balls. That's like having a lion by the tail trying to catch.
It was pretty crazy. And Jim never reported him or anything. And he was, it was just a stress headache he was having or whatever. But like, if you think about it, Jim was probably pretty excited because that's the kind of stuff that turned Jim on.
Oh man!
You know, so Jim was the guy who was a pedophile, and he liked to wrestle with men and with boys, and kind of being mounted on that guy's back was probably pretty exciting.
He really did enjoy being around all those teenagers. He was really excited to show up to work. He was very amped up, right?
He invested a whole lot. He was just going over there, and he was just always dipping into his wallet.
His life was pretty dull. It seemed like his life outside of the group homes, like that was the most exciting kind of thing he would engage in, is being in the group homes with the boys.
So that link is to an article about weed edible from 11 months ago. But anyhow, I guess we could keep on walking. It's just easier to talk when we sit down because then you can compose your thoughts.
I'd have to see more of that edible problem, because I mean, maybe he committed suicide because of the edible. You know, maybe there was something else going on.
I think he had a heart attack.
A heart attack? Maybe, people have heart attacks. The fact that maybe they were on weed, maybe it's just a coincidence.
Well, the doctor said that it was an overdose. So
I don't know. It's just unheard of. But yeah, I mean, with drugs prescribed by a doctor, that'll easily kill you.
Well, look, you could overdose on anything. You could overdose on water.
Yeah.
The link to the article is the death of an 11-year-old baby.
11-year-old baby? Is that what I just heard?
Yes, I meant to say month.
Ate cannabis and died?
Man, you know, people do crazy stuff. You see those parents that give their children the crazy cannabis tinctures, the super powerful cannabis.
Yes.
And you see these kids, they're like, you know, their eyes are all closed, they look blazed out of their mind, like they laugh and it's
well, I've seen,
you know,
what I've seen is kids with stuttering problems or other kind of problems, and then they take the cannabis and it makes them feel better.
You could give them anything and they'll slow them down, and they're not going to have those stuttering problems.
Yeah, but that'll be more like a benzodiazepine.
You're fucking those kids up if you're giving them those crazy amounts of marijuana. Marijuana has been shown. It's been shown to inhibit the development of your brain. you know, and especially in your prefrontal cortex. So the most important part of your brain doesn't get developed.
I think when it comes
You're
to
really damning your children by giving them that stuff.
when it comes to medicinal purposes, you really don't use very much of things. It's you start abusing it when you use too much of something. It's really a small amount that
You don't have to take much marijuana to affect your brain development.
Exactly, not very much.
Well, I'm saying it doesn't take very much to negatively impact you.
Yeah, but then people go overboard. They abuse the drug.
They say the damage was to the child's heart muscles. See, I knew the heart was involved, which was listed as the boy's cause of death. It was brought on by ingesting a marijuana edible. Man, those are some fucked up parents. You know?
Do you think that they actually
First of all,
gave it to him? Look at that gigantic ship. If only
Wow.
the audience. That thing is huge. It looks
They
like
could
that thing-
hear it. Wow, man, it's not switching.
It is. That thing is huge.
He's trying to warn that guy. He's trying to warn that little Coast Guard or whatever to get the F out of the way.
There's a tiny little boat in front of it.
Yeah.
Can you guys see the huge boat?
Yeah, they can see it. That thing is ginormous.
If that thing crashed into something, like it wouldn't even stop it. It would-
No, that crash would go on for a while. It would be like...
Like if it went into this pier, like what do you think would happen? It would.
I think it would go at least halfway onto the pier, just because the mass would keep it going.
It would go into the ferry building, you think, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That thing is...
That's a skyscraper on its side.
Yeah. Wow, its height is even pretty impressive.
Oh, but the phone, it's a little wide angle, so it wouldn't even show what we're seeing.
No, yeah, I tried to zoom in. It's a barge.
I believe it's a container ship, but there aren't any containers on it.
Isn't that the same thing?
Well, it's not filled with containers. Like if it was filled with containers, then it would be even higher. Like you wouldn't even be able to see the Bay Bridge behind it.
Oh, the boat would be lower though.
Yeah. Filled. So
Yeah, sometimes you can see some ships. You're like, whoa, is that gonna make it under the bridge?
there was a close call with the bridge where it grazed one of those. It grazed the bridge. Oh, there was also an oil spill here a few years ago where one of these ships hit the bridge and actually there was an oil spill and
Wow.
it was a disaster.
Man. And look, there's another little boat following it. You know the Golden Gate Bridge blows its horn like every half hour? Really? I've been here for a while. I didn't hear any horn from the Golden Gate Bridge.
Like a foghorn. Yeah, I have heard the foghorn out there.
Man, I hear the foghorn from Glen Park.
Yeah, well, another thing that's impressive is that light on the top of Alcatraz. Like, it's quite bright. The one that goes around and around and around.
So there's the oh, that's right. For some reason, I thought I was by Golden Gate Park, by the Golden Gate Bridge. This is the Bay Bridge.
This one here?
Yeah.
Right, the Bay Bridge. The Bay Bridge is actually longer than the Golden Gate Bridge.
It's funny that nobody really seemed to care about the Bay Bridge when they were built at like the exact same time almost, you know? Golden Gate Bridge was it was done just a little bit earlier, but they're being built like simultaneously.
Yeah, it gets all the attention. That Golden Gate Bridge gets all the attention. Well, this one's more like industrial looking.
Yeah, it was kind of gray. And it's still a suspension bridge, but it's gray, and I guess that's the main difference.
But I believe that the Golden Gate Bridge was actually the biggest bridge in the world at a certain point.
The biggest suspension bridge.
The biggest suspension bridge. And it's got the Art Deco design. I mean, it's a real artsy design.
Yeah, this one was more utilitarian.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's get a move on.
We gotta move.
Wow. So what? I gotta make sure that I'm not out here all night though. You know, that's a real risk.
It might be time to head on over into the BART station by now.
Well, let's head on over to the BART station. I'm so used to doing, like, I really could. I would have no problem doing these mega streams where I'm up all night doing it. But I just, yeah, I gotta hold myself back.
You kind of feel wiped out the day after?
Yeah, and I got a family to worry about,
Yeah.
I got my.
It was nicer to the watching something shorter.
Oh, it was. You
Yeah.
enjoyed it?
You can watch the whole thing, and it's not so bad.
Oh, okay. Do you think having one like 3 a week is too much though?
I'm not
Because
sure.
if you get behind schedule, then it's just gonna start piling on, isn't it?
You might get more views. I mean, it's still 6 hours. I mean,
Well,
not the
9
way
hours.
Not the way it's been going.
Yeah, it's going back again. It's like my own addiction.
Because that other 6 hour long one still only has 600 views right around there.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't it crazy? I got over 20,000 subscribers. Yeah, it's a real rarity if I get 1,000 views on a new video.
Yeah, it's because when you go to the homepage of YouTube, you don't see the things that you're subscribed to. You have to actually go and seek them out, search them, type them in.
Yeah.
And even then, they're trying to steer you away from the things you like. Even then.
Come on the other side, Carlos.
I was hoping we could go over to Broadway. Like at night, Broadway starts to get all active over there.
We're gonna have to save that for another stream.
Yeah, man, I was expecting like that's where we would go after this. But
Yeah. Where would we go next? Put your guess in the comments. 3 a week is okay. They were going to paint the Golden Gate Bridge yellow and black stripe for the military. In fact, they colored it industrial orange.
International orange.
I think it's industrial orange.
Well, the commenters will.
Put your guess in the comments.
Is it industrial orange or is it
International orange?
International orange.
But they colored that because that's the color that contrasts the most with the sky. They did it really for a utilitarian purpose, which was to make sure that planes don't crash into it as they fly. Broadway and North Beach. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Hui.
Tui.
So, what is it called in Spanish where you do the you know?
Oh, I don't know if that has a name.
I think that does have a name.
It's a hoot and a holler.
That specific call, it has a name.
It's usually in songs. If I really did it, like, oh my gosh, everyone would be looking at me. But yeah, it's pretty festive.
I'm just remembering when you did that. I remember when we lived over at Turk Street, and you yelled something out.
Well, I used to yell stuff out the window.
Oh, I had you yell something out, and it was pretty embarrassing.
Ay, papi.
El Grito.
Oh, I did it. Oh,
Boom!
man.
They say it's industrial orange.
Is that right?
Yepers.
Industrial
Listen,
orange?
I know because when I was making my logo, I was going to have it use industrial orange. Do you agree that love is a serious mental disease? What's your take on Plato? Oh man, I don't know. It's weird for me with these people who are so far gone. You know, you don't really know if everything they say is really them or if things have been attributed to them. You know, like like Confucius, for example. I think a lot of the quotes that are attributed to Confucius were just kind of applied to them. Carlos says it's international orange.
I don't say that. The internet says that.
Oh, what does it say on Wikipedia?
International orange.
No, on the Wikipedia.
It's gonna be hard to find it there.
No, that's where I saw it before.
But there it is in big letters right there. The first thing that shows up on Google. Internet.
Oh, it says officially orange vermilion called international orange.
Yeah.
Well, international
Oh, yeah.
orange and industrial orange are both colors that are kind of similar, I think. Yo, what's up, Lee? How long are you gonna be on here tonight? I think she's a little. She's not in the right state for that. So I'm not staying up all night. Oh, Rizze, you back? You returned, the prodigal viewer.
Is that Rizze 1?
Rizze 1? That is him or her? Him.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
It's nice to
So I'm not going to be up. It's oh well, it's orange. They always paint it. Yeah, actually, I think the Giants orange is based on the Golden Gate Bridge, right?
Yeah, they're constantly painting it. It never ends.
On the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. I've wanted to take a flake of that just so that I can have it with me.
Ah, damn it! That'll be the next time you get arrested.
Flake.
Well, you know what you could do? You know, over at the end where they show you the cross section of it.
Yes, it's
It
like
just-
this big.
Yeah, and it's got a bunch of cables inside there. You go ahead and get a flake off of that thing.
Yeah, there's a cross section of just the what would you call those? The cable that bolts
Yeah,
us together.
suspension cable.
A suspension cable. That thing is like this wide.
Yeah, just solid steel in there.
Just a bunch of intertwined wires.
What is your opinion on Donald Trump?
Oh, I don't pay much attention. I mean, getting so emotionally involved is not going to help things. So I have my own life to worry about.
Man, you ever think if Trump wasn't the president, do you think he'd still be allowed on Twitter?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think about that sometimes, you know?
The dude does what he wants. He's always figured out to do whatever. He's always figured out a way to win or do what he wants.
Well,
But then we would have had Hillary. Oh, crazy old Hillary.
could you guys make a living painting the Golden Gate Bridge? Wait, could you handle it? I think it needs more than just 2 people.
Wow, I wonder how long that would take. Maybe you could. Maybe one person could just do that as a
It'd be like Michelangelo. You'd just be on your back for 10 years painting the thing.
Yeah, I mean, just one paint roller.
Look, just a wild dog.
Good time to end it. I mean, it is getting a bit chilly. And
Yeah, there's not too many people out here. It's gotten a little bit too cold. So maybe next time I'll jump on a bus and head straight over here. Maybe that's what I'll do. If I'm running late, I'll jump on the bus. Hopefully not going the wrong way. I'll just go walk down the Mission and catch the bus.
I was only going to step out of my house for like a few minutes.
Well, I was only going to stream for 2 hours. And yet here we are. It was supposed to end at 8, and here we are at 9:18.
Yeah. Well, you didn't start too late. What was it, like 10 minutes late?
Oh, he's asking, would you be scared painting the Golden Gate Bridge?
I think it'd be like an adventurous thing to do. But then again, it's quite windy when you get up there. Like I've been over there, and it's quite windy.
I would definitely be. I have a fear of heights, and my center of gravity is so high. Your center of gravity is essentially your belly button. And my belly button is higher, way higher than the rail.
I've done window washing on some of these skyscrapers before, so I wouldn't mind the height.
What about painting the underside of the bridge?
What about it?
You wouldn't be scared of doing that? What about hanging off and kind of trying to paint as far as you can get?
You focus on your job. I don't think so.
You're getting all sweaty, the sun is on you, you know?
Man, you wouldn't happen to have like an extra BART card? Or just some change enough for me to get...
I'll get you on BART.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? The signal always cuts out when we do this, though. Oh, hold on.
Oh, we've been here before.
Yeah, we've seen the same people before. Yo, thanks. So 6 to 8 new schedule. Yes, that's the new schedule. That's why I have it down there at the bottom. Probably right there. If past that, I hope I can stay up for a second to check the vlog. Work in the morning. Oh, just hop over the rails. No, I'm not doing that. I guess this will be towards the end of the stream. At least we could get you getting your ticket. Yeah, if you want to see Carlos talk a little bit about his childhood, go over to the Patreon. It's over the, patreon.com/Lee's channel.
How old is
the
that
link,
footage? Is it like,
it's pretty old.
is there footage of like our interviews from like 10, 15 years ago?
Well, it wasn't
Something like that.
It wasn't 10 years ago, I don't think.
Yeah, from when
I think it was 5 years ago.
Any footage from G House where I still had my hair?
No. I didn't have it wasn't proper documentary. I mean, it wasn't like the whole feature-length thing. It's just a little 10-minute clip, which is just you talking about what life was like for you before you entered the foster care system.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I've seen it. It's it's nicely edited. He put a
Well, it's rough, real rough, and it's not like what the finished product would be. I got it'd be much better, but it was moving, wasn't it? You cried watching it.
It was moving. Was it the one where my sister shows up in there? Yeah.
Yeah, and Christina was wondering what I was doing, and she was so bored out of her mind while I was editing it. And I went ahead and showed it to her, and she was very upset with me.
Upset?
Yes.
Upset with you?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Neither was I. She was angry with me. She was upset, and she yelled at me, and then she was crying for a long time. It made her very sad.
She thought you were being insensitive.
No, why did you show this to me? And then she was crying for a long time.
You made her upset.
Yes, it was very upsetting for her to see that.
Wow.
Yeah. So you should see it. Don't be upset at me if it makes you sad. They want to know what your sister's name is. Well, it's in that clip.
She's currently working with autistic children, which upsets me. She's abusive. She's an abusive person, and I've seen her slap her kids in the face. She tells her kids to shut the F up, like randomly. She's explosive and controlling, and she's very good at I don't know, getting away with it.
You have a handicapped sister, which was raped under her care.
Yeah, under her care, she was being molested and possibly raped, and my sister was concealing that and hiding it, and even protecting the abuser.
I was on the phone with you, telling you to call the cops.
Yeah, I was only concerned that if I did call the cops, that then my handicapped sister would be taken away into a group home, and that's not much better.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, listen to Rizze. Watch the damn clip.
Rizze saw it?
Yep, Rizze1 saw it.
What did Rizze think of it?
And listen, if you like it, if you want me to continue work on there, please, I want to be able to make this thing. I really want to be able to make it.
I want Luke to finish making it too. He's been talking about it for years.
Listen, how long was I talking about it before I filmed it? So it has, I think you're saying 10 or 15 years, because that's when I first started trying to do it.
We started working on it 10 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, check it out. Tell me, listen, I know my Patreon's not very popular right now. Tell me what I got to do to make it better. Because I don't know what people want or are interested. I know I got to film something as an intro. It's really rough right now. The tears are kind of wonky. But let me know. Tell me what you would be interested in having me do, which wouldn't be a huge distraction from creating stuff. How should I contribute? I'll go over there. There's a variety of tiers if you want to do that. Or if you can follow me for free on there. And everything I do, I think you'll be notified if it's a public post. And I'd like to be able to do like live Ask Me Anything streams, but I only have 8 people following me now over on Patreon. It's very teeny. I have 20,000 subscribers and I only have 19 people viewing now, as far as I can see. So I think I need a little bit more to have viewers. So, but if you can't help by joining the Patreon, at least tell me what you think would be more appealing to people, who want to. But yeah,
any advice would be helpful advice.
And so I want to be able to make feature-length documentaries, and I tell you, I can make beautiful footage. So anyhow, I guess with that, thank you to Funk. I can't read all the Japanese before that, for donating during the stream, and thank you all for watching this, and have a nice night, and I will see you on Friday, hopefully.
Good night, everyone.
All right. Boom. Oh, whoops. I gotta stop it here. All right.